Can I taste one of those? I never had.
This is just dried out corn
Oh shit.
that they season.
Okay. Not even like fried.
I like
or
it
anything?
though. It's all right. It's like weird. It's hard.
It was like I was not expecting that shit at all. I've never had a snack like this in my life.
It's so fucking crunchy, yo.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot be quiet with this shit. This is like
Yeah,
it's
just
like a
not
chip
like
on
a
steroids.
sneaking food. Just not a movie food. We're just like,
you are not solving any mysteries with corn nuts. Dude. You're fucking.
that is funny.
Can't bring one
A
a
sketch
steak out.
of a fucking detective who's on a stakeout and he's eating corn nuts. It's like, these shits are delicious. Oh, damn.
All right, so we're not starting yet. We're gonna start after I eat these corn nuts. As soon as I'm done crunching the fuck out of these corn
They're
nuts.
crunchy as shit.
Oh my god, that was a good bite too.
Yeah. It's like a.
You had a good amount of them.
Good
Wait. You never had corn nuts before?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
But
man.
it's fine,
Shit.
yeah.
Now we got to go back.
Nah, we can go back. We can go to
Never
Wawa
fucking-
later.
Yeah. Fuck that. I'm going to
Was
Wawa.
Wawa a Philly thing?
Yeah.
Is
It's
it
an
really?
East Coast thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on the East Coast. What the fuck happened to us?
Well,
more
it had to
prevalent
work
up
its
there.
way up.
From where?
I don't
From
know.
Pennsylvania, I think.
I was about to
PA?
say, because Baltimore's below Pennsylvania. So
I
they have to
know,
work their way
right?
up nowhere.
I mean, work its way down.
Yeah.
Not even because it's not
Depends
in
on which
New
way you're
York.
facing.
So it's only really in PA. You're right. It's a PA thing, I think.
Yeah,
It's
well, 'cause it's
a
like-
Pennsylvania company.
Because it's like they're famous for like their subs and their hoagies and stuff.
Man, the
And the really nice
bowls,
bathrooms.
you can get all that shit in the bowl, too.
They got nice bedrooms too. I mean, not bedrooms.
Bedroom.
Bedroom.
Never stayed at a Wawa, man.
What?
Some of the finest rooms.
That's a 5-star hotel.
No, the bathrooms are dope. I stopped there to take shits many times.
Oh, dude, it's better than my house.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I've never shit in a Wawa bathroom.
Oh, you should.
Oh, it's way cleaner than like a McDonald's or something. You know what I mean?
You ever shit at McDonald's?
No.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, and it's more personal than a Target. Because like, if you go to like a Target
my
bathroom,
God,
it's
you
gonna
shit
be clean.
everywhere.
Yo,
I
Eric,
shit
you
in the
gotta
Best
get
Buy.
every-
Though, yeah, but
I
you
shit in the
gotta-
Best Buy before. That was comfortable.
You gotta know like where you can go if like you're in the neighborhood.
I get it. There's only like in New York. There's only like 2 clubs that all comics will poop at. It's the Village Underground because they have like separate bathroom stalls and a guy that cleans it and shit.
That's a
So
luxury
don't-
sometimes.
It's a fucking
Like, holy
luxury.
shit.
dude.
If this
And the
stall has a
stand,
door
the
on it,
stand.
stand's nice.
The stands handicap bathroom upstairs.
Yeah,
That shit go in.
Break my leg just to take a shit there, man. Fuck it.
dude, I always
I
take
swear.
the handicap one, dude. Or the family.
'Cause they have the
bathrooms.
bars. They
You
have
ever
the
been to a family bathroom where they got like the big ass changing station and shit?
Those are the best ones.
Those
Well,
are the
sometimes
best.
they can get dirty.
Are
They get
family
dirty.
bathrooms, can men and women go in there?
Yeah, anyone can.
You
go
got to
in
be
there.
a family.
Ooh.
You have to show that you're a family. You have to show marriage papers or kids. We related.
We gotta
There's
verify.
actually like a ring scanner at the
I
door
was
where
like-
to check for a wedding band.
You got to fill out a questionnaire.
I was at Chick-fil-A today and I saw a dad, I'm assuming it was his dad, but like changing this baby in the bathroom. I hadn't seen like a guy changing his son in a long
It'd have been
time.
weird if it was just a guy changing a baby. The guy was just like, I love this shit. I get a rush. This is my thing. This is my
This guy
knitting
here.
right here.
This guy didn't
hobby,
take a
man.
shit, so he put his baby down and figured I'd help him out.
Man, my baby better figure it out.
I was thinking about that, dude, and I did. And honestly, I don't know if he washed his hands prior, which wouldn't make any fucking sense. But he like put the pants on the baby and like didn't wash his hands. I was like, yeah, that's disgusting as fuck.
Yeah.
Now
that's
I'm not gonna
nasty.
lie. When I take a piss, I most of the time don't wash my hands if I'm taking a piss, just because
But if
it's
you're
like.
taking a shit, you gotta wash your hands.
Well, yeah. But maybe he thought like, well, I didn't take a shit.
We should start washing our hands before we pee.
That's what I always do.
Because
Well,
you
actually, I don't do
touching
that at
all this goofy shit and touching your dick. Your dick
know.
been
My
in the
dick's
pants
here
all
the
day.
whole fucking day.
Yeah, your
Doesn't go
dick has
anywhere.
been chilling. Your dick is like bubble board.
I'm not
Yeah.
shaking hands with my
Yeah.
dick or anything like that. Like,
You're
that
not-
shit gets
yeah,
dirty.
you gotta fucking wash your hands
go to
and
the
then
bath.
pee.
That makes sense, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Live from the studio.
Live.
I'm Jimmy Selesky.
I'm Eric Glazer. Tonight on the podcast, we got a special guest.
Special, very special. Second verified person on Twitter we've had so far, Monroe Martin.
Oh,
the
shit.
third, yeah, dude.
Give
Yeah,
it
dude.
up.
The other one was Mark Normand.
I love Mark
Mark
Normans.
Normand's dope,
Hey.
Yeah. What's up?
Hey, thank you.
Hi. I don't know what the fuck this terrible. But I love Mark. Mark's cool as shit.
That's dope, dude. Wait, is this, so this isn't your, this was your first time, I know it's not your first time in Baltimore. This isn't.
No, this is my second time at Magooby's. I did Baltimore Comedy Factory before, but was like a long time ago. When I was like opening for people, and I did Baltimore Comedy Factory. I did like a room up here before. Ray Diva.
Oh yeah,
Right,
Ray Diva.
she did a room, right? She had a room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably at was it at like that Jamaican restaurant or no?
I think so. Yeah.
St. Mary's.
Yeah. I have fun. I always have fun in Baltimore. Baltimore's a cool place to perform.
Well, the thing tonight, that was like I'm assuming tomorrow and Saturday you're just doing like a regular like stand-up set with like a feature and a host. When they booked you, because I know they all at Magooby's they always do Thursday, Friday, Saturday. When they booked you, or when you booked it, whatever, did you know that you were gonna be doing a talent showcase the first night?
No, but that was more cool for me because I was preparing to like get up and leave, and then it was like, oh, you don't have to be over until 9:15. I was like, I'm chilling.
Oh hell yeah!
I got something to eat. I actually like that. That's like a treat because I'm like, I still get the same amount of money, but I also get to use that night to like work on shit.
Yeah.
Like either jokes that I'm thinking about doing and then trying to put them with jokes that I've been doing and rework them. And that's what I used that for. I did like 25 minutes. And
so are you not able to do that when you have a feature and a host? I guess not, because you have
no,
to.
you are, but
it's
I feel like there's less pressure because there's I try to take the pressure off myself anyway, but I feel like when it's a new talent night, they just want to see something a step above what they've been watching so far.
Yeah, because a traditional show, it's the host, and then it sets up for the feature, what sets up for the headline.
Yeah.
But at the new talent, it's just pretty much a showcase.
Yeah, it's like here's these new guys, and then here's a professional. And then it was just like, all right, well, let me work on some shit. I had fun. That's why I was like, I had fun. I started off very like, white people can't buy tiki torches no more. And then just made them go, what? And then fucking just laid into that shit. You can't. Like, you can't, like, I feel sorry if you, like, are legit trying to, like, throw a party outside
even think about that.
and ward off mosquitoes. They're going to have questions like, where the fuck you need these goddamn tiki torches for? I swear I'm having a luau.
They ruin it for everybody.
My daughter's having a party, and we wanted to make like a.
So many people are gonna max out their credit cards buying citronella candles now.
Dude,
those shits are fucking expensive as hell.
It's my girlfriend Ricky. My bad, dude.
Hello,
I told her I was
Ricky.
gonna give her the house key, and I fucking totally didn't. I'm sorry. One second.
No, it's all right.
Fucking
It's a very
special.
dope shirt. Did you get that from work?
I was playing softball with the Orioles.
Oh shit! Really? That's so cool.
That's how much he don't believe in you. That's a cool shirt. You can't
No, I believe in
possibly
it.
earn it.
Well, no,
yeah.
well, she works for the Orioles. So I
You
didn't know.
fucking, but did you feel that sexism? Don't trust it.
I just thought it was like a dope
No, Eric,
throwback
you're a
shirt or
sexist piece of
something.
shit.
That's so cool.
You're just like, hey.
Keychains are difficult.
We're in first place now. Like,
Whoa.
I'm super stoked, and I'll tell you
Hold up, the softball team or the baseball team? Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah, I'm like,
No fucking way. The Orioles are fucking in first place right now.
congratulations. Haven't you learned anything from Field of Their Own or League of Their Own? Some shit like that.
See it.
Have a good one.
Perfect,
Okay.
dude.
Man.
Damn, I was almost really stoked. I thought the fucking Orioles were in first place.
Nah.
It's like, damn, we were like 20 below 500 last time I checked. This game must have been like, all right, winner takes all. Winner takes
Putting it all on the line. I don't even
point.
watch baseball, and I'm still like,
season point.
Alex Trebek came out and he was like, "This is double jeopardy for this
oh man.
winner
So you-
take all."
So you didn't really watch any of it at all, this showcase at all?
No, I watched a little bit of it just to see what I was up against, to see what like if the crowd was being like overly nice and polite, because that's what happens when you do those type of shows. So that's why I use that to work on shit, because if they're gonna laugh at anything, then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna work
That's
out
true.
shit.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't know if it was like a thing, like if you're just going after a bunch of like, I guess like considered open micers type of people, you know, there's
No, I would never disrespect
That's
comics like that, but I look at it like sometimes the audience is just for those new talent shows, they're just too forgiving. So if it's clever but not funny, they're still
Well, they're all there. They're all there to be supportive. Yeah. When you get a showcase audience, when you get like a talent show audience, they're all there to be supportive.
Exactly. So that's why I was like, well, I'll be like, if my friends see me going there and doing shit that I know that works and I've been doing, and they be like, why? Like, why didn't you just put shit together and you like do new shit? Because that's cheating. You're using shit that already kills.
Yeah, I was listening. You were talking about that on I forgot exactly what podcast I was just before I went to pick you up. You were talking about how like just like using old material, you're not really grown or anything like that.
Yeah, I listen to Chris Rock, and Chris Rock does this. He believes there's more than one way to fucking attack a joke or a punchline.
Of course.
So he figures out the best way, and I feel like when you have a joke and and you just stick to the way that you wrote it and you're not expanding it, then you're creating this comfort zone for yourself. Where it's just like, is that why you got into comedy? Because it was uncomfortable? Shouldn't you always live in that kind of like, all right, I know it works this way, but now I want to put more of myself into the bit or add on or take this away.
So are you talking about necessarily, you're not just talking about just creating new material altogether. You're actually talking about like modifying the stuff you already have?
Yeah.
That's
like
interesting.
Because you don't have to keep creating. You do as an artist, or I don't know if comics like call themselves artists, but as an entertainer, you always have to be evolving and growing. And if you just keep something the way it is, then it's not going to grow. Then your set doesn't grow. Like, I feel like this. If you're living life and your set is exactly the same, then you're hurting your career, or not your career, but I feel like you're robbing yourself because you could still be taking those new experiences and expanding on the old shit and bringing it together. You know what I mean?
I know exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what differentiates an artist from an entertainer. I mean, if you're you can be an entertainer without being an artist for sure.
Definitely.
And an entertainer is somebody who might have just gotten into comedy. I don't know if there's many people like this. I imagine there are, but people who just got into comedy, like, look, I got a set that works for me. It makes me money.
Yep.
I'm able to draw a crowd. Like, I'm
you
good.
play the hits.
I'm good.
You play the hits. You figured out what works. You figured out your niche. And now I'm going up there and I'm playing the hits. And then some people like being Prince, where it's just like, the hits. Let me fucking create some shit. Let me give you a snowflake.
And that's a hard line to walk, especially with, I mean, I'll put it in like terms of like when you go out to see a musical artist you like a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you'll get flack either way, because like if you go to a show and you see one of your favorite bands and they just play all the old shit, a lot of times you'd be kind of disappointed because it's like, all right, like I've already heard this shit. But at the same time, there's a lot of bands out there that just play all new shit. Like, here's all the stuff off our new album, and it's like, dude, like, I
think it should be a mixture.
Yeah, exactly.
A mixture.
Exactly.
Mix it up, combine it, experiment with them. Experiment the audience. That was the one thing I learned about from being in New York. Like, a lot of the comics that I will come to the comedy clubs to watch and I surrounded myself with, they always just use that stage to experiment and try things. They would go into the audience, get new bits. They were just always trying to expand their material. And I was like, I want to do that.
How long have you been up in New York?
I'm 7 years, going on 8 years now.
When did you move there directly from Philly?
Yeah. And Philly was dope. Philly was dope to start in. It's like Baltimore.
Philly has a good comedy scene.
Yeah, they have a great comedy scene. There's a lot of funny people in Philly.
What eventually just drove you to move location?
Just because a couple of things. The comics that were coming down from New York were just straight smashing. They was just, it was like a credit.
Yeah.
Yo, you didn't even have to say he was on, like, you didn't even have to be like, oh, he was on Comedy Central. The moment you go all the way from New York, this motherfucker gonna be hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And they were. And even if they weren't from New York, you still knew, oh, New York is where the best comics are, or L.A. It was either those two. This comic is from L.A., this comic is from New York. Are they going to come down and going to smash it? And then you just see enough of people, like people in Philly are smashing it too, but the people who are coming from New York and L.A., they're smashing it. I'm like, I want to do what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a different level of competition, really.
Yeah.
You see the same thing in sports. You know, you go to certain sports schools, and it's like even their bad guys are like as good as your average guys. That doesn't mean that like the best guy in Philly couldn't be better than the best guy in New York, but it's just like as a whole, And then it's a good environment to grow in too, because when you're surrounded by everybody that's pushing you that level, that's the one thing you kind of do lack in a smaller city like Philly or Baltimore or something like that. I mean, how many? So that was 7 years ago, you said?
7 years ago. I was in Philly for 3, so that makes this 10. I'm on my 10th year, going on 11. And Philly was great to start. Like we had like all these bar shows. There was only like 2 or 3 comedy clubs. There was Helium, the Comedy Cabaret, and then the Laugh House. And then you would just bounce around from that. But I would do Laugh House because you're a black comic, and that's where you gravitate towards. But then they had banned me for 2 months.
Oh no!
Oh, shit.
Which
Why?
was the best shit they could ever have done because I would have stayed there. So it was the owner. Her name was Miss Mona. She was the owner of the club. She was like the mother of all the comics there, and she really cared about them. And I was starting off open micer, and I wasn't funny at all, but I would go up there and I would just like go into the audience, like just go on stage and be like, look at this motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. She goes, you're not even telling jokes. Yeah, shit like that. She'd be like, you're not even telling jokes. She was like, I don't know if you're funny, but you're going on stage and you're doing all of this. You're like, don't come back until you write jokes. And then I would she said that. So I would like write my thoughts and shit down. I had a notebook and I would come and then show her.
I think this audience sucks.
She'll be like, nope. I would say all that. Look at y'all. This y'all niggas
I
stink.
feel
you just
like
wrote
you
down
got
all
a
the
bunch
crowd
of
work
pussy.
you're gonna
Yeah, there's nothing.
Look at this fat ass bitch.
2 months straight. I would
Yeah.
come my notebook. She fucking read my notebook and would go, nope. 2 months straight. And within that 2 months, I started meeting other comics who was just like, oh, you're not getting up here. We're about to go to this open mic at like a bookstore, or we're about to go across the street, or we're about to go to Helium open mic, and boom, boom, boom. And then when I seen like white comics, and then other people, I go, oh, I can do it everywhere. I don't just have to do it at the black club. I can perform anywhere. So then, even in the mainstream, like they call the urban circuit urban, and then the Helium shit mainstream. But even in the mainstream, they still had comics that are coming from New York and killing. That Kurt Metzger will come down. Fucking Joe DeRosa will come down. Big J's from Philly.
All those guys are
but
from
they'll be
Philly,
like, oh, he's coming down from New York. And I'm like, I got to go to fucking New York. I got to go to New York.
Would you the urban scene in the mainstream? That's like the same exact thing I hear described down here. Is that like a thing that's prominent?
It is,
every
but
city,
it's
or?
because yes,
Even
it's
including
prominent
New York?
in everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I don't know. It kind of is a thing though that you see the people who are kind of like growing out of those.
Yeah.
They then mix in with the other ones. You know
Because
what I mean?
I think
and it's kind of like a level, like the next level for open micers. Or like if you were to do open mics, you would start off at the one, and then you hear about the others.
Yeah.
But then you'd be like, oh shit, like there's a whole other scene too. I can get up twice as much. Like this.
You
fucking
do the
crazy.
other scene. I'm kind of against the two. I'm kind of against people calling it urban and mainstream because I'm like, funny is funny.
Yeah.
If you're funny, that's it. It shouldn't
Yeah.
be like you're an urban, because usually what makes them say urban is first they go, oh, it's a black room.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a black room. Like there's plenty of like clubs that are still predominantly black, but they won't call themselves an urban club.
Yeah.
But I imagine it's probably their way of acknowledging a reality. Like I'm sure the divide is semi-palpable in a way. Like is it an imagined divide?
It's a palpable divide, but it's a thing that we nurture.
Sure.
I watch comics fucking go from an urban show, and they'll go and they'll sweat their fucking clothes out. I'm like, ah! And then when they're performing in front of white people, are a little bit more tame. It's just like, where's that energy?
Yeah.
If this is who you are there, bring that there.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
vice
true.
versa.
They
So it's
probably
something
feel
that
it too.
people play into. Which
Yeah.
is like, I'm the same way I am here, I'm everywhere. I'm not gonna song and dance.
So you're pretty much saying when you were in Philly, you pretty much started in the quote unquote urban scene.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then when you were banned from the Laugh House, that's when you kind of branched out and saw the whole. Because I was gonna, cause when you first started listing off places, you mentioned 3, and I was like, are there not like smaller places like they have in Baltimore where it's like like bar room open mics and different shit like that?
Lickety Split. I don't know. I don't think they do Lickety Split no more. Lickety Split was a fucking bar over top of a pizza shop on South Street, down the street from the Laugh House. And it was every Sunday, and it was the greatest thing that ever happened to comedy for like up-and-coming comics because it was comedy driven. So all the comics who were on the show, we made it a thing. Like we would stand out on the corner, having conversations, and just bring people into the conversation, then bring them upstairs and tell jokes to them.
Yeah.
We made friendships from that shit.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? And first it started off as you did like the new people, like everybody did like 5-10 minutes. I mean like 3 to 5 minutes. But then once you got known, even if you weren't good, the host would just start going, yo, you want to host or you want to do 20? Or, hey, ain't nobody here. You want to do an hour? And it's just like, yeah. And we had that shit.
That's sick, man.
Every city needs this spot like that.
That's kind of what we have the Sidebar downtown. That's kind of like the comedy, like kind of mecca, I guess. I don't know,
Shout out Dark Mark, right?
Yeah, Dark Mark runs that shit now.
Oh, dope.
It's been like passed down for like, I don't know, 6-7 years now.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, that's just every week now. It's just fucking.
Oh, that's
packed
great. You
because it's
need
just
a
been going
place
on.
where you can be bad and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Where you can just go, fuck up, try some shit, and it's for the sake of comedy. Like everybody gets it. Everybody's like, oh, it stunk, but I get what you're trying to do there.
Yeah.
Now, did that not exist? Okay, because the only reason I'm like kind of curious about this because you've been telling me the same kind of thing exists in Baltimore with like, was there not like an open mic scene on like the urban side of it?
No, there were, but most urban open mics are legit shows.
That's what I was
Yeah.
saying. It's
Yeah,
all
like
the
it
show
ain't-
shows.
Yeah, dude,
Motherfuckers
the
came
urban
dressed
scene,
up.
The urban
Yeah.
scene is
Yeah.
run more like a business.
It's
than,
a business.
'cause all those
Everybody's making
shows-
money.
Yeah, they have like catering. They have, it's
They got catering. They
they
got,
got
a
a photo
DJ,
guy. They got like a
photo
picture wall.
guy. They got a dance competition. Like they're ready.
Yeah, man, they got
Yeah.
raffles going on. Like
You learn two different things. You
Mm-hmm.
learn.
you learn like the business side.
You
of it
learn
from
like
that.
the business
Yeah.
from.
You kind of understand your worth
Yep.
to the business that you're running the show.
Yeah, exactly. You learn the business. You learn advertisement. You learn showmanship, and then mainstream is where you sell it.
Yeah, dude. That's why
Yeah.
Ivan's such an interesting character. Ivan Martin. We were talking about him earlier. The guy who was arranging the Baltimore Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
He kind of came across that same idea. I guess he's kind of like a lazy because he puts on those PAC shows, which are kind of run like that way. But he's
Yeah,
also
and
intermingled in the.
All of his shows pretty much are trying to combine the two sides of the comedy scene.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then ultimately with the festival, we have shows pretty much in every room
Yeah.
on the urban and the mainstream side. So it's like
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
That's
like.
good. And you switch it up. You put the
exactly.
you switch it up. Put the white guys in those shows, the black guys in those shows. Switch them up. Not even if off race, just like the style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the
Honestly,
style
I
of
mean, just say,
comedy,
I
yeah.
feel like for a city like Baltimore, especially, that's like a big fucking thing, dude.
Baltimore is fucking good for comedy.
Exactly.
Y'all got a lot of. Let me see.
I meant just the idea behind it.
Oh, I'm
It's just
thinking
like a
like comics. I'm like,
No,
y'all
I was
got
talking like a social level. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's good. Baltimore is a great place for comedy. I'm comfortable here. Baltimore, the DC area. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I did the DC Draft House. I had fun there.
Yeah, it's a
very
dope room.
fun, very like swanky crowd. People who like, even if they feel a certain way towards your material, like they'll let you do your thing. That's
Yeah.
still like you perform. I get it.
Yeah.
Do you do much, like-
DC is pretty much DC is like the older brother of Baltimore in comedy. Like they're like a step ahead of us. They have like Sean Joyce down there. He's like runs like a room every night, sometimes two, and there's a couple other bookers, and the Draft House just
Yeah.
opened up in there, and they still have the Arlington Draft House that they sometimes do.
Oh, you
shows
know,
at.
they do both of them. But yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
what was
dude.
you about to say?
Oh, I was about to ask because I guess maybe there's like a East Coast thing because I feel like do you do much performing out in like LA and things like that?
Yeah, I was in LA. I was in LA last week. Well, I got back last week. I got back last Monday,
wow.
but I was in LA for a week. You got LA is necessary. People act like people shit on LA a lot, but LA is the business.
Yeah.
LA, they're not playing no fucking games. They're out there to sell shit. They're out there for the money. You know what I mean? And it's necessary. I feel like you go to New York to get good, and you go to LA to fucking
To
get
make your money.
famous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
reap the rewards.
If you're killing it in New York, you need to go to LA sometimes, fucking kill it, get your name up there too, so you can go back and forth. There's plenty of comics that do it.
Yeah, I think like Nate Bargatze now lives in Nashville, but he just
He
like
went back
flies
home,
out
but he
to
goes-
LA, and people
Yep.
don't even realize he's gone.
Yeah, it goes back and
could they?
forth. Ari Shaffir does the same thing.
Where's Ari
Just
live?
going back and
He's
he
a
lives in New
DC
York.
guy, right? Yeah,
DC
Silver
guy.
Spring, Maryland.
Yeah, but goes back and forth.
People get real touchy about that borderline around.
Really?
here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
DC,
he lives,
oh,
like-
Silver Spring.
Well, it's basically just because technically DC is not part of Maryland, even though
Okay.
it was like taken.
Yeah.
Is on that.
But
Whatever.
the people that live in Maryland near DC are always like, "Yo, I'm from DC."
Yeah. The technical term for it is DMV,
Yeah.
which is another common debate. Like, does the DMV entail Baltimore? I'd say yes, but that's only because it literally stands for Delaware, Maryland, Virginia.
Yeah,
Like, Where the fuck's Baltimore, right? But
Yeah.
they consider it like a different thing, which is weird. It's weird. All kinds of
I didn't
divisions
know.
everywhere. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
LA. If
English
you
big.
comic, go to LA. I'm
Well-
trying to convince my friends. I when I was in LA, I told my friends, I go to LA. If you say you're good, go to LA. Fucking perform on these shows. Get your name up out there. Like the funny people in LA are getting shit.
Well, when you did like the MTV stuff, like the Geico stuff, were you?
That's in New York.
That's in New York.
Yeah.
Oh, I always
yeah.
imagined MTV was in LA. I don't know
They
why.
got both, but they got studios and stuff in New York, and they usually film out of like a small studio, like literally a room this big.
That's pretty.
And you're just sitting in on a stool, like, let
Yeah,
me
doing
tell
the
you
green
something about
screen.
shit.
How did you even fall? That I guess like that was probably because you did the heck, like was that how recent was that?
I'm always doing some MTV shit. I like MTV.
How'd you even
MTV
fall into them?
fucks with me. So first it was Charlemagne and Friends. I wrote for the first season of Charlemagne and Friends when he had a show, and then I did a screen test for Guy Code, and then from Guy Code it was like other things like Joking Off and Girl Code and like
Guy
the other
Court?
stuff.
You
And,
get on
and
Guy
I never
Court?
did Guy
Oh.
Court. They did like other shit, but I like MTV. They keep money in your pocket. They keep I'm still doing shit. You
Yeah.
know, like they put Girl Code on Snapchat, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
just like pumping that shit out, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh yeah.
Keeps you relevant in some way.
And you did Adam Devine's house party too.
I
right?
Yeah, Adam Devine. I did that. That was cool. Yeah, I did that in New Orleans. That was fun.
That's sick.
Oh shit.
That was sick as shit. Adam Devine was a cool ass dude.
And that was I bet, dude.
Yeah, he's a cool ass dude.
I
I
love
got to
Workaholic.
do that with my friends.
Mhm.
I had a couple of friends on that show, and we was like, "Yo, that's fucking dope."
That's
Yeah,
sick.
and you're in
Yeah,
New
yeah.
Orleans, you're just partying all the time.
Oh my
New Orleans is a
God.
great city.
But the thing is, I was in New Orleans the day, but I mean not the day before, the weekend before, doing Jazz Fest with me and my ex girl. Well, she
Yeah.
wasn't.
What
my
year
ex
was
at the
this?
time. This was Adam Devine 2015.
Yo, I was at Jazz Fest in 2015.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, with Aaron
Yeah.
Neville, you seen Aaron Neville?
I think okay, so what happened was I was
He
with my
drove
girlfriend.
his girlfriend, her dad, and our friend Scott.
Yeah.
And he forgot to get gas before they left. So an hour into the trip,
I saw on the way down. We drove to New Orleans. It was an 18-hour drive from Baltimore. So we ran out of gas. We ran out of gas once. I got pulled over twice. It was like the worst fucking going down ever. We got there. We wound up. We saw the first day because Elton John was playing that night too.
Yeah.
Which I definitely want to see because Elton John's pretty fucking dope. But we never wound up. We wound up buying weed from like this like handicapped dude.
Yeah, you giving back.
Yeah,
you
yeah. I was
investing in
giving
small
back.
business.
I was like, all right. I don't normally smoke, but hey.
Yeah.
And then that was a shit. I didn't know that was like a thing they do down south. But when I bought the weed from him, it was like this big fat black like guy in a wheelchair, and I was like, all right, like I was with my girlfriend's dad, the girl that was
Yeah.
just up in here.
Yeah.
And so like it's like a big deal, like when you're with your girlfriend's dad, like that's like a major bonding moment, you know? 'Cause that was
Yeah.
really the first time that
Oh,
ever,
we were about
yeah.
to smoke together.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
Yeah.
So we pick up a gram from this dude, $20 standard price. But then he's like, all right, let's roll it up. And I was like,
He's
motherfucker.
trying to smoke with you.
Motherfucker, I just
It's
bought
just a
this shit
gram,
off you.
dude.
Now
I'm not. That's like the cook eating with you. Yo, give me some of that. Like,
You
you got a little
fucking-
plate. Get the
You
fuck out of
fucking
here.
come out there, fucking sit up next to you at the table. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this shit?
But what did you do? Did you go no, or did you, roll up with him?
No, because that's the thing. When you come that far, I'd never been. That was like the furthest south I've ever been, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was like custom down there. I didn't want to be like a bitch and
Yeah.
be
You
like,
know what he
you
was
guys-
doing?
you
Making
guys
sure
could've
you
just-
weren't a cop.
True.
that
But
could.
did you guys just walk upstairs
He's still
and
smoking.
get away?
He could have just been like, as soon as I was like, all right, let's roll it up, and like I agreed to, he could have been like, oh, all right, we good. He smoked
he
that
still
shit.
smoked with you
I
the
smoked
whole
with that
thing.
guy. I smoked with that guy. We
Still
smoked.
do.
I rolled a real skimpy joint for the first one, just because I didn't roll shit because I suck at rolling everything.
Yeah, but
I
you
think her
didn't
dad
want to
rolled it.
share with him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any amount is enough. Like, dude, I just fucking paid you $20 for a fucking gram. Like, the fact that I'm smoking you up at all you should be thankful.
That's fucking funny.
That was some shit. And I miss Elton John. And apparently I miss you. So
Oh no! Well, I didn't perform. I was just hanging out there, but it was fun. It was fun as shit. I was still drinking at the time, and we snuck alcohol in, but we forgot to. We put alcohol in. We dumped all the water out of the water bottles and poured vodka in them.
classic move.
And then
And you
we're
guys didn't
just
have water?
in the sun drinking vodka. Like I'm like,
Straight?
I'm about to pass out.
Oh,
I'm about to
it's
hit
like
straight.
boiling
Yo.
Just like,
hot.
oh, yo, I'm about to die. I'm about to die. I don't feel good. I
It's
don't
like
feel good.
infused with BPA.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Yo, that's
Straight hot
terrible.
vodka.
Yo, how old are you doing this shit?
Dude, that was at 2015.
2015.
So that's like 28.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's some.
That's too old to be doing that
That's
shit.
some like junior and high school shit right there. I would
Dude.
say.
Oh,
Man, I had a great time in New Orleans, man. I was eating everything.
It's a
That's like
town, dude.
beignets.
It's a fucking beignet.
Yeah.
The fucking the
Goddamn.
gumbo, I can't get enough of. I fucking love the gumbo down
The
there.
gumbo. Did you go to Dat Dog? It's a fucking famous hot dog spot.
I
in the
went
French
to
Quarter.
this place. Every like sub name was Dat something. So I want to say it might have been that place. I don't know.
Dat
Was this on
Dog
Bourbon
is a
Street?
I think so. It's a hot dog restaurant with a line around the corner.
Yo, I love hot dogs.
They
People
had- they
hate on hot
had-
dogs so much.
Good shit. They had an alligator hot dog with a
Ooh.
fucking egg on top of that shit.
I know you guys already fucking think I'm addicted to 7-Eleven. I'm just gonna put this out there. I truly believe that 7-Eleven hot dogs are like the best hot dogs I can
I used to think that about Wawa's hot dogs. You get the
Alright,
fucking the big hot dogs with the bacon wrapped and the cheese on it.
Yeah,
It's
on
like,
the
these are
silver
the best shit ever.
But you're saying that dog is better?
That dog is better. I don't even eat, like, I'm a pescatarian, so I'm like fucking only
Does
eat
alligator
seafood.
count?
Look, now
in the
I am. I'm
water.
talking about it's been 2 years, but I eat the shit out of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much like that's close.
Yeah,
enough.
but I
That's
can
close
swim, don't it?
enough. Lives in the water, man. Alligators, hippopotamuses. I don't fucking know.
Dude, there's a hot dog place down in Fed Hill. Do you remember? Do you know what that's called?
Where's Fed Hill?
It's down in the
It's a
city.
neighborhood in the city.
Kind of down. Actually, it
Does
might
it
be
stand
Fells
for
Point.
Federal Hill?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah,
Federal Hill.
yeah.
It's right by the harbor. If you're familiar with the harbor.
Okay, the harbor's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I forget what it's called. But they have like French fry hot dogs and shit. And
What you
like,
mean French fry hot
ramen
dog? You see how
dogs.
look how I looked at
Yeah.
you. What the hell you mean French fry? What is this?
Also, there's a ramen spot.
What do
that
you mean
has-
French fry hot dog?
They just have like they fry the hot dog, but then they also have French fries in the bun and shit, and it's really
French
good.
fries in the bun, or do they like scoop out a potato, fry it, and then stick a hot dog in between?
I think that's your restaurant.
I think so.
You're talking about the dat
I
potato
think
down there.
that
Dat potato.
that potato dog.
Potato baby. Man.
Yo,
You
come-
can't get
the
enough of that shit.
potato dog. Yo, I'm always thinking of some weird ass ideas. That shit. I want to do a fucking cornbread waffle, right?
Ooh,
Okay.
like a
Waffle made out of cornbread, and then take, even though I don't eat pork and shit, take shredded pork, put it on like the top, and then like you do like maybe like some collard greens and shit on the side. Yo,
That sounds soulful, to say the
that's
least.
soulful
That is
waffle.
soulful. That is a soulful fucking entree, dude.
Dude.
I feel like I don't appreciate cornbread enough.
Man,
I feel like whenever I get it at Thanksgiving, I do like Mentos, bro.
what do
Well-
white people? Do y'all bring cornbread
Mom?
to the thing?
To
I'm-
Thanksgiving?
To Thanksgiving?
I
Yeah.
mean, like maybe cornbread stuffing or something.
Yeah, so you
Something
fuck
like
it up.
that,
You're
yeah.
trying to make it like you try to make Uggs
Try to make
out
it
of
white. Yeah.
Some shit,
Yeah.
whiten it up. Like
Stuffing is dope though.
My family makes.
stuffing is not dope. I've
Are you
never heard
serious?
anybody say stuffing.
I'll tell you what
is
though.
dope.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though.
I'll make you some
Stouffer's?
stuffing. No,
So-
no, like homemade stuffing.
I'm kind of in the middle
Okay.
because I'm Greek. So like
Okay.
my family, like we
Greeks
make like
eat.
yeah. We know how to cook. So like our stuffing is completely different. Like we call it yemasi, and it's like It's like ground beef and like all kinds of. It's fucking dope as shit. You should
Yeah.
try it sometime. But we make like real cornbread and stuff like that. Honestly, a lot of like, do you guys use like cranberry sauce and stuff? Because our family doesn't. My family doesn't.
My grandmother, she does cranberry sauce, but I fuck with canned cranberry sauce.
Canned cranberry.
I
yeah.
thought cranberry
Canned
sauce is a white
cranberry
thing.
sauce gets slept on.
I've
You
never
just
Slice it into
fucking
little
slice
discs.
it up in a
Yeah.
little disc. Fuck that shit.
Put it on sandwiches and shit, like a little
Yeah,
tomato.
yo,
My family never did it.
Really?
We never did cranberry sauce. I always thought it was a white thing. Like I'm white, but like at the same time, like when my grandmother does all the cooking, she's like straight
Yeah.
from Greece. So like we always just had all that shit. And so I just assumed that only white people did the cranberry sauce. I don't even know how to use it. Are you supposed to put it on your turkey?
no, you eat it on the side. But Greeks, you don't have to celebrate fucking Thanksgiving.
That's
That's
true. That's kind of
You don't have to.
I mean, what else are we gonna do on that day?
Yeah, eat regular food. Do
All
what the
of your other
Jews do.
holidays
Just be
got
It's not
like
like we
that.
fucking sit there. The Jews definitely celebrate Thanksgiving.
They
dude.
go to the movies on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
They go to on Christmas. Well, they write the Christmas movies. And
Yeah, and then go watch them.
yeah, this is good. Really got him on this one.
You're missing out. You're missing out on cranberry sauce and cornbread.
Oh,
Some
my
really
family, my
sweet
family makes
cornbread
cranberry.
with some cranberry
My family
sauce.
makes cornbread all the time.
Yeah.
But the thing I was gonna say is it's like that and sweet potatoes. I can have a couple bites of each, but it's like too rich for me. A lot of that shit's too rich. So I get like one thing of cornbread, I'll eat it, and I'll be like, fuck, man. I just like turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, and the yamasi, and like. It's like kind of weird. Like you guys don't like pasticho and all kinds of other shit that like we eat.
Yeah, I don't
and it's
know
just
what
like all kinds of
pasticho
different
is.
shit.
Just fucking get you some
Cranberry sauce.
cranberry
Cornbread.
sauce, cornbread,
Make that shit into a waffle.
some goddamn
Put some-
whipped up yams when they
Ooh.
like puree them in a way, like make them like mashed potato yams. And
All right,
shit
let me
like
ask
that.
you a question though. Do you eat on Thanksgiving for dessert? Do you eat pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie?
Sweet potato pie.
For real? I thought that was a north south.
I
thing.
I fucks with pumpkin pie though.
I fuck with pumpkin pie too. We sometimes have sweet potato pie. It's like very similar, but I never got. I thought that was a north south thing. I figured you being
No,
from Philly,
it's
I thought that was.
No. I rarely like. I think that is also a white and black thing. Like,
could be
I
it.
feel like white people more so.
We
would
love
get
pumpkins.
Pumpkin pie, yeah.
Pumpkin
instead
spice
of-
lattes.
Yeah, but
Fucking-
when it comes to y'all wouldn't get a sweet potato pie. The concept, my girl is Colombian and she don't know what the fuck a sweet potato is. Like she was like, sweet potato pie? What the fuck is that?
that's what a yam is, right? Is a yam a sweet potato?
Yeah,
It's like
I
the same
think It's in the
family,
same
right?
family. I will call it the same thing.
Well, because a
agree
sweet
with you.
potato isn't a potato.
Yeah,
I know that.
It's a
yes,
yam.
no, it's not a potato. It's
Yeah.
something. It's called something else. Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Because it's not starchy. Or
Yeah.
is it? I don't know. I forget.
it's something in it that makes it a carb that you can just keep using. Like your body will use it for the rest of the day.
It's more versatile than a potato because you never see anything like a potato pie.
Yeah,
You only see you got sweet
yeah,
potato
you
pie.
do. You got the potato pies like the lax.
oh, you're talking about the
Yeah.
Jewish shit?
Yeah.
That's because they had nothing else to do on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
They
it
were
is.
inventing shit.
and those
like,
are
what
just
the
like
fuck else do we
those
do
are
on this shit?
potato
The
pancakes.
potato pancakes.
yeah.
Plus, that's coming close to Hanukkah too. Thanksgiving and Hanukkah are always right up on each other's necks too. I don't
Get you a
fucking know.
sweet potato pot. Do you do sweet potato or pumpkin?
We do some every now and then because we used to. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about, that's the only reason we ever. I used to have this neighbor named Mr. Barron, who was a black guy. Who would always be over for Thanksgiving, and he would always bring sweet potato pie.
And everybody be like, this shit is great. Y'all push the pumpkin pie to the side. This bitch ass pumpkin pie.
Yo, this is all starting to add up in my head right now. My entire
Yeah.
worldview is starting to shift. I'm starting to learning so much right now. How did you like? So you were doing comedy. I assume you had moved from Philly to New York by this point. You're
Yeah.
doing clubs up in New York. And how did you fall into the writing shit?
Well, no, you got to work your way up. Like I wasn't doing clubs in New York. I did the open mics, and then I started like hanging out at the clubs, and the clubs put you on, and then from there, I got the writing job because I ended up getting a manager, and he was just like, "Hey, do you write sketches and stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm just
Hey.
like goofy shit that comes to my mind, like literally the cornet thing. I'm gonna write that somewhere. I was like goofy shit that comes to my mind. He was just like, "Yo, write 10 ideas down." And I was like, "All right," and I wrote them down. And then like 2 weeks later, he was like, "Yeah, they're gonna bring you in for the remainder of the show." And then like a month before the show was like wrapping up, I got on Last Comic Standing.
There you go.
Man,
Had you established any type of a name for yourself prior to leaving Philly, or were you still going up to New York as like kind of a
no?
no-name?
I would definitely say I didn't. Oh shit, I'm about to be all.
No, you good, man. I was
And the
about to
crunch-
crack into that shit too.
You want some of these, Joe?
Yeah, I'll try some of
I was about
theirs.
to be like, hell yeah,
Yo.
open that shit.
Yo,
Let's
black
go.
dudes don't eat enough trail mix, yo. You
Who
gotta
was I
trail
watching?
mix.
I was watching Ali Siddiq did a bit like that, dude. I was watching him all the fucking the other week.
Fuck yeah.
Black guys
Ooh,
need
nuts
to
and
eat more trail
chocolate.
mix, man. But no, I will not lie and sit here and go, I established a name for myself. There were people who knew I was funny, people who encouraged me to move to New York, but when it came to like people who were like just killing Philly, I wasn't a part of that group. I don't think. At least I don't think. Like people always knew, yo, Monroe funny as shit. But I would hang out with my friend Chris. I had two friends, Chris Cotton and Derrick Gaines. And Derrick was killing it, Chris Cotton was killing it, and I was in the middle. And I just had that feeling like I am not going to be the comic I think I am going to be in New York. I want to get better. Derrick moved in New York first. He was there for like 2 years. And then I followed suit and moved in with him and slept on his recliner until I figured shit out.
I was about to say, yeah, I didn't know if you moved out
On
with
the
like nobody.
recliner,
Or...
like I
Damn,
made that
Jesus.
recliner look like a
Recliner?
fucking sleep number.
Oh my god.
I was in that bitch like 87.
Yeah. I slept like an old lady who can't get out of her
Yo,
real
I
bed.
slept like an old lady who just gotta watch her grandkids and she just point that shit. Move it. Move that shit over there.
Now, are you still doing? I was watching something earlier. What the hell was I watching? Some podcast you were on. This was a different one. It was like Don, some white dude with like a real weird like voice. I don't know. It was back in 2014. You might not know what I'm talking about. But you were on it.
He draws you. I know.
Yeah.
He don't.
No, it
Yeah.
was dope. Yeah. He had a real like radio voice kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
shit. But he was talking about you have like a podcast, Cracked Up. Is that still going or what is it?
We don't do that no more just because we got like too busy. And we really weren't pushing it as much as we should have been doing.
What was it?
Podcasting, it was me, one of my great friends named Becky Asfan. She's a
Asfan.
manager. Yeah, Asfan.
Asfan. I like
Greek,
that shit.
It's even
I was
better.
about to say not Greek. She's
Middle Eastern?
Lebanese.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, it's close enough, right?
Still eating Yamasi.
And we would do. She's like, everybody knows her as like she's great comedy. She's a great manager, great person, but she can crack you. Like after talking after a while, she can get you to confess shit
Like
that
a
you've
Howard
been holding
Stern or
in
something?
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we was like, hey, I'm a comic. You're nosy. Let's just interview comics and like talk about shit, everything except comedy. And that was our thing. We talked about like how people grew up in their life like everything that brought them to comedy, everything that influenced the comedy. We had Mark Norman on. Mark Norman talked about growing up in New Orleans and being bullied and stuff like that. We had a lot of great people on. Seaton.
Yeah, Seton Smith's from around here too.
Yeah, Seaton's great.
Mm-hmm.
We almost had Roy Wood, but then he ended up doing Daily Show.
Oh, shit.
Too big.
We did it for a long time. We had Ari, I believe.
That's
We
awesome.
did it for
man.
a long time, but y'all know it takes a lot.
It
It's
is.
a lot more
Even
than
just doing it every
recording and posting it. It's like, how are we getting listeners? We got to engage people. We always got to be working.
Mm-hmm.
And we were both too busy to like do the footwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long were you doing that? Would you say?
We did it for maybe like we did it strong for 1 year, and then we switched studios, and then we got a new studio and we did it for like maybe like a couple months, and then we were both just like, even in studio, I was just like, hey, I don't know, I think we should just be like,
Yeah.
and we was like, yeah, hey, shit, yeah.
Well, what's your like ideal work situation? Because you do.
What I want to do, I want to create. I just want to create shit. I just want to create dope shit. But for real, I was trying to like find a slick way to say it, but I can't. It's just like I want to be a part of great things, and I want to create great things. I want to
feel-
be able to like write something, put it together, and put people who I think who are amazing in it and put like good things together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then be a part of great things. And that's it. I want to I got into stand up. I just wanted to do stand up. And then when I got a writing job, I was like, ooh, I like writing. I like doing that portion. And then I got to act, and I'm like, I want to do all that shit. Like I got to make a show for comedy. It was me. Who was it? Me, Andy Letterman, and Kurt Metzger. We did a pilot for Comedy Central. It didn't get picked up. But that was the first time I got to be an executive producer. We got to pick the cast members. We got to really work on the storyline. We did table reads. We fucking got to meet different production companies. I was like, I want to do that shit too. Like I want to be a part of every single process of getting shit done.
I think the
Dude,
way you
for
put it
real.
is a great way to put it. I mean,
Just I want to make dope shit.
because I saw
Yeah.
that shit on your Twitter thing too.
Uh-huh.
It said like, I like dope shit and I make dope shit. I was like,
Yeah,
fucking
that's
fuck
it.
yeah.
Like that's all I want to do.
I've that's a very good way to put it because I don't want to piggyback off that, but I kind of feel like I live my life the same way. Like I got into comedy and then I just started meeting dope people and like our interests lined up, and then I started PAing for like a production company, and now I'm like a producer at one, and like I booked a music video back in January, and I like sent out all the casting calls and all that shit. It's just weird. Like actually doing something and learning how it's done and being like, oh, I can apply
That
this.
should
to
make your dick hard, don't
Yeah,
it?
dude.
Yeah,
Sitting there like,
Because you can
ooh,
apply
I'm
it to
emailing these
everything.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because, dude, you understand that you're like, oh, I just have to hit people up. Like,
Yeah.
if I want to sponsor for a show, I just got to hit them up. You know what
People, and that's what I've been learning. This last trip to LA, like I was having a good time already, but then I was like talking to my girl. I get spiritual sometimes where I just like start like asking questions and shit. And I just was like, I want to learn. I want to be more business savvy. Like, what does it mean to be business savvy? And I legit like took an edible and I was just sitting there and I was like, oh, you hire people who also want to make dope shit. I'm like, all right, I'm a stand up and I can write and I can act a little bit. If I have an idea, I can't shoot it, but what do? Make friends with somebody who can. Somebody who's just like, hey, I can shoot shit, but I don't have anybody to work with. Boom. That's a business partnership now. Right? And I was like, and I started to do that when I was out there. Like I met with a guy who he does like behind the scenes shit for like movies, but he's like, I want to produce my own shit. But the problem is everybody I know is in production and I don't have any friends that like writing stuff. I was like, I'll work with you. I'll write shit. As long as you can get a shot, I'll keep fucking writing ideas.
It's such like a
Yeah.
and it sounds like such a simple concept,
But it's not.
it takes
It takes
so
a while.
long to
It
learn.
takes so long to
Yeah.
fucking learn.
That's how everything works.
Because we all
Especially
try
if
to
you are
do shit
creative.
ourselves.
Yeah, because as a creative, you just want it to be like the perfect image that you had in your head, but you're not able to. You're able to do one of those things.
Yeah.
You have to.
And you
yeah.
gotta step the fuck out of your way and let somebody who is a little more better fucking do that shit. I was
And that-
watching the Defiant Ones. That's what what's his name? Jimmy Iovine would do. Yo, I can't do it, but I'm gonna hire somebody who can.
That's
I'm
how
gonna
it
make
works.
friends with somebody who can.
Yeah, DJ Khaled doesn't make all of his beats.
Yeah,
He, like,
no.
he
Now
makes
he,
some of
he
them, but
fucking
yeah.
overlooks the people.
Yeah,
And you need those guys too. You need the guys who are able to coordinate and make those. Dude,
and those are going to be the next DJ Khaled's. Like
Yeah,
those are going to
but
be the
they're-
guys who are they're learning from him, being hired by him.
Not even learning. It's a partnership because you're learning how to build a business. You know what I mean? If you're a writer, team up with somebody who can put your vision together, or somebody who's like good at like. If you're a writer and you're like, oh man, I need somebody who can direct. What if you got a friend who's like, I can't direct, but I know somebody that can? That person just became a showrunner. That person's a producer.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. A lot
It's
of it is
learning
people-
you can't do everything by yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's the hardest thing. Is a lot of people when they first start, I think you kind of want to do everything yourself.
Everything.
Because you have, I mean, you were talking about like on spiritual shit, but I think a lot of the conflict is, at least for me, I'll speak for me. It's just like you kind of have this idea of who you are in your head, and then you try to live your life based off of who you think you are. And in the pursuit of doing that, you kind of miss actually realizing who you really are. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're kind of always, you know, head in the direction of this predisposed idea of yourself, and so it's like, well, no, but I want to be the guy who is really good at writing, producing, recording, singing, doing stand-up, all that shit. And it's like, but in doing that, you miss the whole concept of like, yo, there are other people who can do shit too.
You're missing out all
There's
these
so many-
relationships you can be
It's
building.
like you need people for shit, and
Yeah.
they need you for shit, and neither
Exactly.
one of you guys. It's just like that's the whole like almost like the secret to life. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, I need a sandwich. Yo, I need my fucking teeth.
That is
like,
the secret to life. Like, people forget the thing in life is people are only worried about themselves, right? And they only think about themselves. So when it comes to getting something done, you're not gonna you're like, I'm gonna do it myself. I had this vision, and you're not gonna really. It takes like you to be introspective to be like, I'm not that good at this. I'm gonna give myself time to, but I need to learn from somebody. In order to learn from somebody, I gotta start over again. I gotta lower myself down. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people got this pride shit.
Yeah. Did you pick up a lot of that? I mean, I imagine.
I picked up a lot of that in New York. Just like in New York, meeting people.
When you're doing the podcast, I mean, I'm assuming, had you already been thinking that way for a bit, or did you kind of like wake up to that when talking to all these other people who had kind of made it a little bit further?
I didn't really think about that until LA.
Okay.
Like, I'm a guy that tries to do everything on their own. Like, I do my own Photoshop shit because I taught myself how to do that from watching YouTube.
Yeah.
I do that shit. I can do video shit, but sorry, I'm not chilling.
That's all good,
All
man.
right, good. I'm like, yo, I taught myself Photoshop. Are we the same person?
But then,
Got glasses? Oh my god. Oh my god.
but then I realized it was cutting into other shit. It was cutting into other shit. But then when I got to New York, when I got to LA, I was meeting with I was out there for like production meetings and stuff. But in these production meetings, I was talking to people who their only real skill was finding talent. And I went, that's the business. The talented people have to link up with other talented people. I'm like, the person who started this company knew they couldn't do everything on their own, so they were like, I'm gonna hire you for this, you for this, you for this, and we'll build off of each other. I'm fucking meeting with the front man. I'm like, hey, do we love your stand-up? We like the script. We talking about it. We got to find somebody. I'll go, in my mind, I'm like, why am I talking to you? But then I'm going, oh, because your talent is fishing through who's worth it and who's not. Then you bring that to the person who you trust that can shoot it. You know what I mean? Then the person who can shoot it hires the grips and all those other people. So I'm like, oh, that's the business. Knowing you can't do everything on your own.
Business, dude.
That's serious, dude. Jesus, man.
But if people in the world realize that, like, we all need help somehow, it'll be a better place.
I think it starts off from, it's kind of like this, I don't want to say like an illusion of any sort, but like, you've only ever been you, I've only ever been me. Like, I've only ever been inside my own head.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think even though, you know, there's always a thing like, what do you think? You're like the center of the universe type thing. And it's like, we all want to say like, no, I don't think I'm the center of the universe. But in reality, it's kind of like, we do kind of live our lives as like, in like everything revolves around me. I've only ever been at the center of my own universe, you know? And so it's like, you kind of forget that like, there's like 7 billion other fucking people out there that all have, not all of them. A lot of people are just fucking dumb as shit.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just fucking stupid as shit.
Yeah.
But there's so many people out there that like have those same thoughts, like what the fuck, and like who do I have to meet, and like how do I do this shit, and like this is what I have to offer, and who do I have to find, and it's like you forget that because you assume, and it's not like a bad thing, it's not like an egotistical thing, it's almost like you really have to put in a lot of time and effort to discover that about yourself and the world around you, because if you just go based off of everything you've seen, you would assume you're the center of the fucking universe.
Yeah.
If you never sit down and go, wait, maybe I'm not. It's just like it takes that revelation,
It takes
dude.
you gotta be introspective. A lot of people don't want to be introspective and really figure out what drives them, what they need improvement on, and all that shit.
Now, are you into like psychedelics at all or no?
No, I just do a vape pen.
Dude, I've never.
I'm gonna say mushrooms. Like the only I've done that like twice or something, but like definitely those are like the trips that you're like, Oh man, I gotta call my mom and dad every day.
Yeah.
I gotta like
Yeah.
be nice to my grandma.
I get that on
before
which
she's
one? I get
gone.
that
I
on edibles. On
weed-
vape. I'm like,
edibles. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
because it's different because it like
Yeah.
goes through your liver and shit. Like, I
Yeah.
think it is a little psychedelic.
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I'm saying so completely ignorant because I've never actually done a psychedelic yet. I'm definitely trying to do shrooms soon, dude. I'm like super hyped about. I'm putting that shit on my calendar. Looking forward to that shit. But like, no, edibles, shroom day. Edibles is definitely the closest I've been, and I would say, dude, weed affects me so much. I feel like definitely weed affects me differently than a lot of my friends and stuff like that. Like,
it makes you
it makes me
paranoid.
paranoid, and people always used to say, "Yo, you just gotta smoke more. Like, once you
That's
smoke
the
more,
dumbest-
like you'll get used to it." It's like, no, dude. If I smoke too much, I just start. My mind just won't fucking stop, dude. I just go in this fucking dark hole, and I just like start like. It's just not good, dude. I've
been
to
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, you just gotta change. My friend went through this, but I think you gotta change when you smoke. Like maybe, like usually, smoking takes the walls down. We put up these things in our mind. You may be angry and scared about something, but when you're sober, you're so used to having your wall up that it's second nature to not even thinking about it. But the moment you fucking start smoking, those walls come down, and then you're facing your own inner
That's
thoughts.
exactly, dude. Literally, if you didn't say that, I was literally just about to say that. Like,
Yeah.
it's like that's definitely like smoking. Like, it's not that being high makes me think a certain way. It's that I already think that fucking way.
think that
and
way.
then smoking is what like tunes me into it, which sucks because then that's the whole problem. Is like because then you're sitting there wrestling with yourself. Like, is this really who I am? Like, it just
do I
like fucking
feel
sucks, dude.
Dude, nah, don't beat yourself up like that, man.
I mean, it hasn't stopped me from smoking. Fucking take that shit.
You're like,
Let's
no, I'm
fucking
still gonna do it.
fucking still smoke. Fuck weed, dog. Get at me. But I'm a much bigger fan of drink because drinking's the opposite of that shit. Drinking's like, yo, I suck, and then you have a beer, you're like, yo, I'm fucking sweet, dude. I don't give a shit. Everybody says, anybody says I'm fucking dope as fuck. Get at me.
I don't like drinking no more.
Yeah.
Drinking made me drinking. When I was drinking, I definitely became a mean person.
Was there anything that like made you tip over to like, all right, I gotta stop drinking?
My friends were like, yo, you fucking evil as shit when you drink. And I would say mean things. I would just say like shit that I knew was like super offensive. You think you're a cooler person when you're drunk. You're just being an asshole. And I was like, I'm gonna fall back off.
Fucking sit here and drink a beer
Everyone's gonna
like,
think this is hilarious.
fucking sit there with a beer like, get your own fucking corn nuts, bitch.
Yeah,
No,
right?
I ain't passing around this trail mix.
If I was drunk, I'm like, fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
Monroe is mean as shit, man. Never had corn nuts before. And he's chewing in the mic? Damn. Show some manners.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. So did you like, was that like a recent thing? Like you quit pork, alcohol, and fucking non-vape weed all in one day? Or how'd that happen?
I quit meat after
All together?
Yeah, I'm a
Well, except for
pescatarian,
fish,
so
yeah.
I only eat seafood.
Oh, I
But
thought you were
did that
kidding.
after Italy. Me and my homies went to Italy. We went to Italy. This is 2015. Everything had a lot of things were happening.
Big year, dude. Big year.
2015. Me and my best friends, we decided that we're going to go to Italy for 10 days. We're there. We're eating everything. We're eating steaks. We're eating burgers, seafood, all that stuff. But the only thing that was different is it didn't weigh you down. We would eat a steak and then stand up. And then you eat a steak here, you like, I'm going to go home.
It's like the serving size.
We were
right?
like, not even the serving size. There's no GMOs.
Whoa.
They took all that shit, like all the pesticides and things
Yeah.
that they use to like stretch the food out and preserve it. They took all that shit out. So we was eating fucking steaks, and 20 minutes later we're like, dude, I gotta shit. I gotta shit, or I'm hungry again. And like after that, we both came to that conclusion. Like we were like talking to people, and it was like, oh well, they banned GMOs and stuff like that. But it was like their meat is just leaner here. We was eating like strawberries off a truck. And the guy had like a fucking bucket of strawberries, and we were just eating them. Shits were delicious. Not a single strawberry had mold on it.
Now, what about alcohol? Because Italians drink wine, dude.
All right, I drink the shit out of wine. I went ham. I was drinking. We found this type of Moscato, I think it was. Like it was like some shit that they only made in
Is
Venice.
it limoncello?
Nah, shut
No.
up.
Was it
Okay.
Prosecco?
Really? Oh, no, I thought you've been a joke.
Limoncello is
No,
dope.
I mean,
no,
that's-
limoncello is
it
dope.
is dope.
I never drank limoncello.
It's a lemon liqueur. You would like it.
Yeah, it's really
Oh,
good.
okay.
You ever had limoncello cake?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as good as a
That's the
liqueur.
fattest shit. Probably.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Non-GMO? I don't fucking know.
I had one drink. I had not one drink, but I had this one type of like wine, and we got in Venice and we drank all that shit. And then I was the thing that got me stopped drinking was for like a year, for like a summer straight, I was drinking nothing but Jameson and red wine.
Oh, no.
And
Not
you-
mixed.
No, and I would forget
Alright.
to drink water, and like I got like very, very dehydrated. My eyes sunk in. I got
Wow.
sick. I went to the doctor. He was like, "You're dehydrated." He was like, "Do you drink like water?" I was like, "No, I don't drink. I don't know." He was like, "What about alcohol?" And I was like, "Yeah." How many? He said, "How many glasses of wine or shots of whiskey do you have a day?" And I was like, "Well, I do comedy, so maybe like 5 to 7."
A day?
A day, like 5 because you drink for free.
Yeah,
In New-
yeah.
Like a lot of places, you go, and then at the time, my chick, she drank a lot of Jameson. Like she had bottles of Jameson in her house, and then like we would go hang out, and I would just be drinking Jameson there. And then I was like, I can't do this shit. I shouldn't be drinking. And then I like stopped. That was the only thing I ever stopped cold turkey.
That's crazy. You should drink more water, dude, because I don't drink much water.
I don't drink much water.
That's why I don't have
My
that shit in the
skin would be
fridge, dude. You
fucking
came in here, you
great
like,
if
you got
I had
water?
it.
I was like, no, I got fucking beer
You
and more
need
beer.
water. And
You make up for it with the coconut water, though.
Yeah, dude.
Do you, man? This shit is
I think
fucking
so.
No, that's it,
nothing
dude.
but I don't think
I
it's
think
real.
it hydrates you better than water.
I don't know. I just learned if you like drink a pure coconut, like if you like get a coconut and you like open it in the morning before on an empty stomach, it'll fuck. It's the healthiest thing you can
A
do.
coconut?
Really?
Yeah, coconuts are cheap.
I know
Coconuts
it's
are like
like
$1.75.
It's sterile and it can be used as like an IV line. I learned that from Lost.
Oh,
I'm
I
around
seen
trying
that-
to take a piss real quick.
I
That's all
seen that
cool.
on MASH.
On MASH.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You said you're gonna pee outside.
Yeah, it's for the outside bathroom.
That's the only downside.
I thought this was a bathroom. I thought that was a bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all
And
like
then-
do like records in here too?
Yeah, Jimmy plays music, and on the other side, it's actually like the carport for the garage. And that's
Oh.
like this wall's just like a fake wall that we installed.
Y'all did it yourselves?
Mhm.
Look at y'all, handy as shit. How the
Yeah,
fuck
man.
y'all put up a wall?
It was hard.
Really?
Well, I mean, I didn't really help that much, but yeah,
Well,
they're
yeah,
in
y'all
here-
made this wall too short.
Yeah.
Did
Well, no,
y'all?
They actually, so you actually do that for acoustic reasons. Because if the wall was connected, then like the sound would go into that wall and kind of reverberate back.
Mm.
So like this whole studio is actually, they have it over there too. It's like built like by itself and then enclosed with that like foam, I guess like
Oh.
sound dampening stuff or
So
something.
you put the sound stuff on the side.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the room is like closed off.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's smart.
Dude,
Y'all
it's like
smart shit.
yeah, it's sick.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
it's for real. in
y'all
there.
did this.
Yeah, Jimmy mainly did this area, and then on the other side, we built like a green screen wall.
I did that area.
Yeah.
Really? You know how to do all this shit?
Except for the actual like building part of it.
Yeah, he didn't build
Wait,
the
what
garage.
do you mean? Oh, okay. So wait, what happened?
I'll get at you. 1 second. I'm fucking talking it in this. Where's this shit on mic? All right.
He so the garage was already here.
Yeah,
Garage
no,
is-
I know the garage.
It was
is
full of trash.
It was full of trash. So for the first month, we fucking went in here. Me and Scott, or Scott and I, how the
Yeah.
fuck you speak English, fucking went in here, and it was just like one bit. So that this wall wasn't here. So I'll show you the other side. It's just like one big garage, no walls, just wooden studs,
Yeah.
tin outside. We came in here, we cleared everything out, like scrubbed down the floors. You know, it was fucking disgusting in here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And we did
Fucking
videos
gross.
in here before, so there's like fake blood all over the floor
Oh, yeah,
and
it
shit.
was,
and,
it was
like,
fucking miserable.
Yeah.
And then we just decided we divided off the thing because the garage door's right there. And so Scott and I like co-built this. Scott, I told you, does acting, so he's up in New York now. But before he left, we made like a whole green screen room on that side, which
Yeah.
now is just for storage.
Yeah.
And then on my side, I did like the studio thing. Now, luckily, well, my dad was a contractor, like a construction guy too.
Yeah.
But so is my girlfriend's dad.
Mm.
And at the time, like very at the time he basically came in and like helped us like stud out the walls for this section because this had to be like double studded to like for soundproofing.
Yeah.
It's like the whole fucking science behind it, which I fucking failed at. Like you'll find out when you go in there. It's just
Okay.
damn, dude, you could have saved a lot of time and just done it normally, and it would sound the fucking same.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's just that much doper to
I was
talk
hyping
about
it
them.
up while you were pissing.
Oh yeah.
No, he said you made the room smaller and then put like the sounding stuff
I mean, it
on
was
top.
like a really cool learning experience because like basically like this window, like we had to build like just building like a double pane studio soundproof window and like having to learn how to do all that shit and like it was a really cool experience, dude. And like, I mean, I electrocuted myself a couple times, but like other than that,
I
it was, like,
electrocuted myself before as a kid. I stuck a key in the socket.
I don't think you're a man until you've been electrocuted. Man.
I don't
that
think
really
so.
puts
either. Yeah.
because it comes at you at the speed of light, dude.
Dude,
and you're
yeah.
like,
fucking,
oh,
like,
damn, I
whoop.
could have died.
It
Yeah,
feels but it feels like you got shook really fast.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I flicked a staple and an outlet on like a science desk in high school because they had like the outlets for like, the electric stuff. I
And it
had like a
electrocuted
staple
you?
on a test and I just flicked it into it. I flicked it in so I didn't touch it, but it fucking sparked out and like it was crazy. My teacher thought I did get electrocuted, and I was like, "Yeah, I need to walk around the halls for a little bit to calm down."
yeah.
I'm just like, "Let me get
Just
some
like,
water. Let me go
Gotta
take a
see if I got
piss."
any powers.
Dude, there was nothing better than just walking around the fucking halls.
That
like
was
that.
but that's the only thing you went to school for.
Like, I don't give a shit
was
if they
to
think I'm
walk
taking a shit.
around the halls, looking at other people's class.
Hey, fucking
I'm
man.
in the halls, you
I
know.
always used to get sent out in the hall because I'd be fucking talking too much in class. So they would put me in the hall, and I was like,
This is where the fuck I
"This is
wanted
exactly
to be.
what I wanted to do." Like now, I'm just fucking sitting out here, fucking in the hall. People walking by. All my old teachers from other school years just looking at me disappointed, like, "Damn, you still a fuck up, huh?"
Dude.
I'm like, "Sorry, man,
The
sorry.
hall is the
Like,
shit.
I'm still an asshole."
They should just put the class in the hall.
They should,
If you want to be in
You
the
pay
hall so
attention.
bad,
Yeah.
put the class in the hall, and the kids that don't want to pay attention in the class.
in the classroom. Then I'd be like, "Damn, this sucks. I gotta look at a fucking mind jog." And
Yup.
shit. Damn, it's bullshit. They probably didn't use that term up in Philly, mind jog.
No, I don't know.
I
what
used
the
to
fuck a
hate
mind
that
jog
shit,
is.
dude.
What's a mind jog?
It's a warm up. They used to call it a mind jog, like a little jog for your mind. I hated all
Is
that
it-
like
what is
corny
it,
ass.
It's like a pop
It's like a
quiz
drill,
almost.
like a drill. Like every morning you'd go in and like you know how like when you first start a class they give you like a drill to kind of like enter you into the subject. Like,
Yeah.
and kind of like bring you into whatever unit they're teaching that day.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm
So
talking
it's a test about the shit from
It's
that you
not
learned
really-
the day before, but then the stuff that
Teachers might have used it to describe different things. My relation to a mind jog is literally they would just bring you in and it was like your drill and like every day they'd have like a different question on the projector and they'd be like blah 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 and you write your answer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the essays.
Yeah.
So you got to come in. You got to be like, oh, all right, I gotta. Oh, who
Yeah,
was
it's like
this?
damn,
Yeah.
like it's just like I just used to hate, and then they would grade that shit off completion, and it like
Yeah.
it wouldn't even matter. Like there were a
It
bunch
can
of
be
things.
grammatically incorrect, all that shit, but I'm like, you finished.
There was so
Yeah,
much
you
shit
did.
Yeah.
about the curriculum that I just thought was I just thought it was fucking retarded. The way they did it, classwork in Baltimore County had to account for a minimum of 50% of your grade, and most of classwork was just like completion shit, like getting stuff signed, completing your mind jogs. Like, don't get me wrong,
Well, you
there
know
were
where that
graded
comes
things.
from. So I don't know. I don't want to get the fucking time frame wrong. So I'm gonna Google it. But basically, the curriculum that they kind of still use today is being changed now. But I don't know how old you are. How old are you?
I'll be 25 in a couple days.
So we still learned off of the
Yeah.
same curriculum. Was created back when America needed more factory workers. So the curriculum was just to make sure that you were smart enough to pull a lever and get shit done. Are you smart enough to be a part of like
Yeah,
a
and don't think
an
too much
assembly
outside
line?
of that.
Here's
It
an
was-
here's
yeah,
an-
it was
here's,
for you to be functioning.
Here's an idea that kind of not piggybacks on, but kind of like plays like a adversary role to that. But when I was in high school, I watched all the vocational programs
Yeah.
get cut. So like they used to, I don't know about my high school in particular. I know we used to, my school, it was a public school, but it was also like a magnet school for like law and public policy or whatever.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids went there that weren't from Taos. I went to Towson High School with Eric.
Okay.
It's like right down the street. And a lot of those, the programs like, you know, the automotive programs, all the like electricians, stuff like that. they
Apparently,
were-
like the shop got closed
Yeah.
down.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of
They
a lot
basic-
of schools lose those programs.
What
first.
happened was, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
basically every school just decided that every kid was supposed to be a doctor or a lawyer and go to college and stuff like that. And they basically completely undermined the importance of We do need people to fucking know how to cut wood. We do
Yeah.
need people that know how to fucking fix a car. Like, these are important jobs. I'm sorry, all your fucking Towson-ass kids.
Yeah.
Like, all your parents are doctors and lawyers, and you think that side of the world doesn't fucking exist. But now you're sending kids to school, and they're all being trained to go to college. It's like you know how they use the school to prison pipeline?
Yeah.
In fucking my neighborhood, it was like this fucking school to college pipeline, which doesn't sound bad.
No, but college is also a business.
Exactly.
College is a business.
Exactly. So you graduate high school having been taught nothing other than just how to succeed in this business called college.
Yeah.
It hasn't really prepared you for the real world in any way. When you graduate from high school, you're not actually ready to do shit if you
But
go
then-
based off
yeah.
your education.
But then if you go to but then once you go to college,
They make you
supposedly.
relearn all
they're
that shit
teaching,
anyway.
but they're teaching you how to. In most colleges, they're teaching you how to learn, how to problem
How to work
solve,
with
how
other
to
people,
work.
how to
how to work with other people.
how to take direction, how to schedule.
Yeah, they're
how
s-
to,
preparing
know.
you for the workforce or whatever thing you in. Hey,
Can you
like,
meet this deadline?
Can you meet a deadline? Can you work with others? Can you work efficiently?
Yeah, except the
Right?
only difference was they used to teach that shit in high school and it was free.
Yeah.
And instead they were like, hold up, what if we just made everybody pay like $20,000 a year for this same fucking lesson
But then
when they're 4 years older?
But there's no money in high school. There's money in college.
Exactly. So
Colleges
so the
get that.
fucking college racket,
Yeah.
I'll call it that.
Yeah.
College racket comes in. They say, all right, so basically now I need to spend the first fucking 2 years of my college experience relearning shit I should have already know. Why am I taking English 101 in college?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I paying fucking $12,000 a semester to take fucking 11th grade English? I already passed this shit. Why am
Yeah.
I taking calculus? Why do I have to take general education whatsoever? Like, it's just like a whole bunch of shit that's just like, it's very clearly like lobbied and everything like
But
that.
then once you start trying to get a job, they're gonna be like, "Well, you haven't experience." No, nigga, I was learning the whole time. I was doing this college thing.
Exactly.
Well, we need somebody with experience.
Everyone
And
told me
then-
this would get me the job.
But you end up going in debt because, like, not some people, if you're lucky, you won't be in debt. But then you end up going in debt
But then
because
you're
now
trapped
you're
in
working
the
with
workforce.
Yeah, you do an internship for the job you want to work
Yeah.
for. So now you're doing this internship where you're working for credits, but for free.
Exactly.
You know, and then when you do get a job, your job isn't going to pay you enough to pay off your college loans. They're
Yeah.
paying you enough to keep you there.
Real life example, dude. My girlfriend just got a pretty nice job, and she just graduated.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she went to Towson for 7 years because she double majored in art and business, something like that.
Yeah.
And she just started like doing the math on her student loans because obviously once you graduate, that's when they come for you. And she owed, I think it was something like $52,000 plus interest, put it to $68,000, which I thought that was the most ridiculous thing.
Even if
Like-
she gets a job paying $80,000 a year,
so she got a
she
nice job.
still is going to take her a long time to pay that off.
So like I literally for a living just play like acoustic gigs and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like I don't make that fucking much money,
Yeah.
but I get by.
Yeah.
She got like a nice kind of like corporate job, but she's paying like $600 a month in
And
student
the
loans.
education. Does she? And is this job pertaining to what she went to school
She
for?
has, yeah, it's a job. Well, in this case, she lucked out because
Yeah.
it's a job, and I've seen a lot of fucking people that graduated college and either got a job that they didn't need college for,
Yeah.
or they just their job that they got isn't even close to the amount that made college worth it.
Yeah.
just in general. But she kind of lucked out. She's very smart and like very like business savvy, and so like she went and got herself a good job.
Yeah.
But even with that good job, it's gonna be like 10 years before she's even making more money than me. That shit's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'll be fucking 35
You
before
gotta be-
this
you gotta
corporate
be a
ass
slave
job.
to these. They're always going to get you.
Dude, it's
Still should do. I feel like, but even when I'm saying this, I still feel like people should, if it's for the college experience.
Did you go to college?
I went to community college.
Close enough, but
Yeah.
not really, because community college is like
You get
that's
that-
still like that's like junior college to me. That's
yeah,
like
it is a junior
it's
college.
like but you didn't drop all the money for a real
no,
college.
I got to go, and then I found out being there was like, oh, I don't really want to go to college. I thought I wanted to go because everybody else was going, and now that I'm doing this, I'm like, I'm not really
That just
passionate
sounds
about it.
crazy to me. That just sounds crazy because so many people I talk to that say like, yeah, I went to college and what college really taught me was that I didn't want to go to college. It's like such a terrible.
I
it's
think-
like, yo, I went to
Dude,
that
for
restaurant
real.
and with that restaurant, the thing that I like most about that restaurant is it taught me I never want to eat that shit again. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, I'm not going to fucking restaurant.
I know this is like a
No.
weird idea, but I think people go to public school and like bust their ass to go to college. The public school should have some sort of fucking relationship where the junior college will let them attend a year for free. So then they'll get that college experience, and then they'll go, I don't know if I want to do this. I may want to take another route, and they won't waste money.
Yeah, but the whole problem is
They want you to waste.
They want you to waste that
It's
fucking
not
money.
set up for your fucking benefit. You think I know you know this.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
just saying, like, you know, none of this shit has your best interest in mind, like in heart. Like, you're brought up from the age you're fucking 11 years old. I just remember all every day going to school, just being like, all right, so you gotta get good grades in middle school so you can get to a nice high school, aka fucking public school. Like, that's where I'm
Yeah.
going, regardless.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, so now you got to do really well in high school so you can get to a nice college. And it's like, okay, why am I going to a nice college? Because then if you do really well in a nice college, then you can get a really nice job working for somebody else who's gonna hire. It was like, at what point are you gonna teach me how to be my own fucking man?
How to be a business
At
owner.
what point
Yeah.
are you gonna teach me how to take control of my own fucking life? Every fucking step that you've given me in life since the time I went to kindergarten has been how to impress someone else who's gonna
Yeah.
use me for my talent so that they can benefit off of it.
Exactly.
That's the whole fucking concept.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit bugged me out. I had to get the
Dude.
fuck out of there.
You told your parents that?
My dad was cool with it. My dad thinks the same way.
Okay.
I don't even
okay.
think he ever supported me going in the first place.
Oh,
Not
he
one of my
was
parents
like,
did.
Yeah, he was like, "Do what you want, man. That's how I'm gonna be."
I went
when
there
have
because
kids."
everybody else went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell my kids. I'm gonna like always think about that. Are you doing this because you wanna? Are you doing this because you think you have to?
Mm-hmm.
I think by the time we have kids, I think that whole college bubble per se, I think people are already starting to catch on to it.
Oh, it's bursting. They got too many online schools. So now when you like, remember you would name a college and everybody knew, like, oh, you go there. Oh,
Yeah.
you're smart. That doesn't have the same effect.
And it's
People
also
get-
the fact that
yeah.
so many people have degrees now. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you name a college, people go, oh, where's that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because everybody's jumping on the fucking wagon. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
shit, this is a great way to make money. Everybody's convinced they need it, so let's
Yep.
just create it.
This is what I like about you know what I like, and I know people hate the millennials. We're millennials, but people hate them. But millennials has figured out how to not work for people anymore.
We've kind of had
People,
to.
yeah, and people hate that. That's why people go, oh, this is a lazy generation. Are they? Because all they did was
No,
just
it's
take the
like-
power out of somebody else's hand.
Work
And,
smart, not
yeah,
hard.
a lot of people this is the most inventive fucking generation, I think. I think we invented shit that is going to last us for our entire lives, and we invented shit that's just cool for now. But this shows that we're very creative. Like there are a lot of Snapchat. That's like Snapchat, Instagram, all those things are like big as shit.
I would venture to say that, like, I think in
This
essence,
shit, SoundCloud.
yeah.
Fucking iTunes.
I would say that, like, I would say that all generations are pretty much like, because we're all products of our environment.
Yeah.
So like you come up and like the only reason we were ever able to come up with a thing like Snapchat or SoundCloud was because of everything that preceded us.
Yeah.
That built us up. Like we didn't have to discover the fucking internet.
Yeah.
We didn't have to invent electricity.
Yeah.
We didn't have to invent the fucking wheel. Like when we were put into the fucking world, we had all that shit on our toolbox so that we could just go, yeah, but what if we could like take pictures of ourselves for 10 seconds? And it's like, we didn't invent the fucking camera.
Yeah.
What about the generation that invented the fucking camera?
But
what about them?
we're
We're perfecting
evolving.
it, though.
We're
We're
progressing.
perfecting. We're perfecting it. We're creating other use for it, and that's what's dope about the generation.
Which is
People
important.
shit on this generation, but they go, "Oh, they're lazy." No, they're not. They're taking everything that's fucking that is a staple in life and reinventing it,
I
repurposing
think
it.
so like I feel like like when our parents' generation was coming up, I feel like our grandparents' generation was saying the same shit about
Yeah.
them, like, oh, you fucking lazy hippies, like, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, shit like that. I think it's really because there are, in every generation, just like with the millennials, for instance, there are people who are on the cutting edge of shit, and there are also the fucking idiots who just haven't lived long enough to realize that they're wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody's still like young enough where like being a loser and like not doing shit with your life is still like cool.
Yeah.
But then once you're like 35, 40, then you start to look around and you're like, oh, all those dudes that like we always listen, like they're all fucking losers.
Yeah.
Like, and that's when you discover like, okay, so here were the people that mattered from this generation.
Yeah.
And all the people that had voices over the internet, 20 years ago, now they're all just fucking losers.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's what defines the millennial generation, people that were fucking right.
Yeah.
But we're still in that fucking limbo where it's like, who's right? Somebody's right here. Maybe I
Yeah.
should do this. Like, and then, only time tells, basically,
Yeah.
I'm saying. And so we haven't had the benefit of seeing how our actions today play out for tomorrow.
Oh, exactly.
I'm looking forward to that. Not
I
looking forward
am
to that,
too,
'cause
but
then
I'm
I'll be
also
old.
not. When people shit on this generation,
Yeah.
I think we're a pretty smart generation who is trying to take back.
We're just trying to make the best of what we got dealt.
Make the best of what we got dealt, but also realize that we don't have to work for giant corporations. We can be corporations.
Mm-hmm.
This is this is definitely the time, and I think that entirely has to do with the internet. But just the concept that even the concept we were talking about before, like going city to city, it's just like this is the fucking time that exists in humanity that we can actually project ourselves out into the rest of the world without ever needing to change our location.
Yeah, you don't ever have to. You can be everywhere in the world and never have to leave.
And people
your
aren't used
room
to
now.
people aren't used to having that. Like the concept of having a voice that can speak to that many people, a generation ago. It's just it's just crazy how many people that can influence you, and on the flip side of that coin, how many people you can influence.
Yeah.
Just based off the environment that we grew up in now. Like it's just wild. Like even this podcast, and I don't know. It's just this is definitely, in my opinion, and maybe the next generation will be even cooler to grow up in. I won't fucking know. I'll be calling them fucking lazy. I guarantee.
You're gonna have to.
I'll be like, you fucking ass.
But it's already starting though. It's already started when you see little kid I catch myself looking at somebody, and if they got weird hair, I'm like, oh, look at fucking weird hair, and I go, here I go, I'm getting angry. Why am I getting angry? They're expressing their individuality.
Yeah, makes everyone look like a My Little Pony character.
Yeah, right. But you get angry and you go, fuck you for expressing
I'm starting
yourself.
to become out of the loop. They're legitimate. When I talk to a kid who's in high school now, it's legitimately we are on a different social level now. It's the first time I've been yo, I'm definitely older than you. This is crazy.
You're
this is
I'm old as
crazy.
shit.
And it's kind of a joke because I'll see kids who are 16, 17 years old. It's seniors in high school.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you were born in 2000?
Dude, I don't
you were
trust
born
anybody
after the
born in
Backstreet Boys came
2000.
out? I feel like I get just mad at them for just having their own identity. I'm
Yeah.
fuck you, dude. Who are you?
Oh, fuck you.
I used to be young, dude.
You weren't even alive
Dude,
when
I was-
Biggie got shot.
I was so much cooler when I was 17 than you. It's no, you fucking weren't.
Yeah,
You're
no,
a
we
fucking
thought we were
nerd.
cooler. So he's dying over here. We didn't say shit. Dude.
Good.
Yeah.
Got a corn nut stuck in my throat.
Man, corn nuts are the shit. I want
Still never had one.
corn nuts to sponsor me.
You want a Mento?
Mentos, yeah. Let me take
Oh,
one.
Yeah. Take some Mentos, dude. They're good. The thing is, I put that shit in my mouth, and I didn't know if it was gum or not. You'll see what I'm
It's like
talking
a
about.
mixture.
When's the last time you had a Mento?
It's a mixture of
it's
both.
chewy.
Yeah.
It had been so
It's
long.
a mint chewy.
I'm not gonna lie. So I just got back from vacation. I took a nap when I got home. It's a big mistake, dude.
Are you gonna be up?
People told me, people don't tell me.
Yeah,
this
it's
shit,
12. You're gonna be up.
but
You had that Red Bull?
yeah, this Red Bull, Jesus Christ. But I was basically told never take a nap longer than 20 minutes. Because once you take a nap, a 20-minute nap, just to rest your eyes, you can wake up from that shit and be like, hell yeah, let's do something.
Well,
You sleep long enough to let yourself go into REM sleep during the day.
oh
You're
yeah,
gonna be
you throw your
fucking.
cycle off.
You're gonna be fucking groggy.
Take a
as fuck.
melatonin.
What's a melatonin?
Making melatonin.
Melatonin.
Isn't that the skin shit?
No,
that's
no, that's
melanin.
melanin.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Melatonin
black
is
or something?
the-
No. Melatonin is the sleep
Wake up
aid,
black.
but it's not addictive.
Oh, it's not.
No.
Natural.
I feel like I would get addicted to not being able to sleep.
There's
I'd be
also
like, yo,
some
I
people-
liked being able to sleep last night. Let me do that again.
Well, the thing is,
It might not be chemically addictive.
It won't. You're right. It's not chemically addictive.
That's how I get you.
You can get addicted to using it because now you're convinced your body, I can't go to sleep naturally.
Without it, yeah.
That's how I get you. No, I don't fucking saying they like it's some fucking vast conspiracy.
It turns out right. This is the conspiracy
Big
podcast.
melatonin.
That's how they get you the
Fucking-
fucking melatonin.
Fucking
people.
Alex Jones on this
Yeah.
bitch. Fucking doing it.
Melatonin lobby. Out to get us.
Yo, I just started watching Alex Jones. That shit
Dude,
is
he's a
fucking
fucking
hilarious.
kook, dude.
That shit is scary funny.
No, I fucking like watching Alex.
Dude, he's
I
a
watch his shit all the
personality. He's an
time.
entertainer, dude.
That shit is scary funny, man. I'm like, whoa, he believes all of this shit. But it's just the way.
Dude,
What?
when he got high on Joe Rogan, that shit was the funniest thing I ever saw in
Dude.
my life.
The thing with him, it's a lot of the shit he's I don't know, a lot of the shit he says, it's like when he was on Joe Rogan, the thing that stuck with me was he was saying some outlandish sounding shit. And then you know how Joe Rogan is. You watch the
Yeah.
Joe Rogan Experience,
No, but I'll watch it if you tell me the episode.
So watch the podcast because I think Joe Rogan has like the biggest podcast of all podcasts. Would you say so?
Yeah,
Like that's
for sure.
definitely like the big. He's probably got the like most watched show
Yeah.
online right now. It's crazy. But Alex Jones is on, and Joe Rogan and Alex Jones are actually like pretty good friends.
Yeah.
Like they've known each other for a while, and Alex Jones was saying like some crazy shit about like the Pizzagate stuff, like with the pedophile market and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're listening, and you're like. Nah, that's fucking bullshit. Like blah 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 blah. Like just naturally, like this sounds so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then Joe Rogan be like, all right, Jimmy, pull up this article, and they'll pull up the thing, and they'll like cite the source, and it's like, oh shit, that all fucking happened. It's like it like fucks with you a little bit because you're like, oh wait, like he did fucking cite it. Like what am I gonna say now? Like it's.
But
I'm
you
not-
can cite if you look hard enough, you can prove anything.
So who's right?
I don't know.
That's the question.
Like if I said some shit like, yeah, man, the abominable snowman like raped a college girl or some shit, I can probably find evidence to back that on the internet.
I would challenge you to find something like that on a podcast. I'm just saying, like when I watch that shit, when I just watch.
I'm typing it in.
Find me a fucking case record of the abominable snowman.
No.
That'd be some crazy shit, dude.
I think you're thinking of Ted Bundy.
Dude. Jesus Christ.
Dude, do you have to? You got to get back to the hotel at any point, or
Yeah, because I gotta be up at like 6.
Oh,
you got
shit,
radio in the
6?
morning?
Yeah,
Ah, shit.
Damn, dude. My bad.
look at that. I'm already looking it up. I just typed in abominable snowman rape.
It would definitely get some case records.
That's already some fucking funny shit. Rape fraud and rape. Hold on. The abominable. Oh, let's see what this shit
Oh,
is.
no. You gotta find some shit.
You can find anything. Wait, because
Look at this,
it may be like some-
2013.
Let's see. Rape, fraud, and rape by. What the fuck? I just went to some other shit.
Fucking
All right,
ass.
good. I can't find it. You lucky.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm fucking saying, baby.
Oh shit. So, so you don't have a podcast anymore.
Not anymore, but I'm gonna probably start one again. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing on the road because I think I do the road a lot, but it's about retaining the fans, the people who come up to you, like that lady who was just like, oh, thank you. There was no need for me to walk away. I could have did something to retain that lady as a fan, so the next time I come back, she'll see me.
Yeah.
And she'll bring other people. And that's where I'm at stand up. And I'm thinking, I'm like, should I had this idea for a podcast and I did it like once or twice and then I stopped. I called it Post Show Jitters. And it was a Facebook Live podcast where after the show, me, the host and the feature, we talk to like maybe a couple audience members in a room like this, and we just shoot the shit about the town, how they like the show, what's going on in their lives and shit like that. I tried it, but people just ended up like going off on tangents and like being nervous.
It's tough
and shit.
because you don't
So it's like,
know. It's tough.
what you're
with-
getting
yeah.
if you're
bringing in
talking to an
audience members.
member.
And I think a lot of times people in the audience, a lot of them just belong in the audience. Like
Yeah,
that's the
they just
thing.
want to
Like,
be in the audience. They don't want to be
like,
in
look,
front of the
I'm
camera.
not a fucking podcast guy. I'm not a comedian. Like
Yeah.
that's not my job. Like I
Yeah.
don't fucking bring a construction guy to my house and be like, yo, can I drill in these fucking nails?
Yeah.
Like, no, like,
Yo, scissor.
no, it's like this. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, that's probably putting them in a situation like, oh my god, like this is a guy I really like. Now he expects me to be funny and like, dude, a lot of times you bring on
Exactly.
fucking
Yeah.
comedians and people and musicians and shit like that. They only have to fucking handle themselves on a fucking
Yeah.
podcast. It's like they just don't. Everybody's like, oh, when do I have to say something funny? Like I don't even know.
Exactly.
Like
And
it's tough, dude.
so that's why now I'm back to that. I stopped doing the podcast. 'Cause, you know, I like doing podcasts. I don't like producing podcasts. You know what I mean? Like if I'll do anybody's podcast, but I won't do my own anymore.
You really will do anybody's podcast.
Yeah,
I'll give
we
you that.
thank you for
Why
that.
not? Fuck it. Yeah, no.
If there's one fucking
Fuck
thing,
it.
you can
But
verify
y'all
that.
look, hey, look, I look at it like this. Once again, this is a business thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a product. Y'all are a product. Your product is fucking selling yourselves and other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, fucking let's team up.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
You had the right mindset, man. That's why
I know,
think,
but it's just figuring shit out.
I think I would I think that a podcast that you did would be like I would listen to that shit.
But I just gotta find a right angle to do it. I gotta find something that I will enjoy doing every single week, and it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
That's true.
And that was our thing. Our podcast started to feel like work because getting the comic schedule, figuring out who was going to tweet it out or what we were going to do. Like, if I can do it, I would love to do just live podcast.
What about the concept you were talking about earlier? Like, cause I wrestle with the same. I think about the same shit. It's like a lot of times it's like, damn, like now I gotta fucking worry about like hitting people up and doing all.
But
this other
finding
shit.
somebody who can do all that shit.
Exactly. So
But
find
that's
someone that can
that's
fucking,
my next step. Is like to like even with stand up. I hate social media. I do. I did. No, I
Social
don't
media
hate it.
sucks. I hate it.
It serves its purpose. Like I had to break down to a friend why comics shouldn't hate social media because it's the new alt scene.
Yeah.
It is. It's
I
the
just don't
new
like
alt
the
scene.
standard that you have to like put out like a couple jokes on Twitter a day.
But-
You gotta have Facebook status. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You gotta have Instagram.
But
fresh.
remember, when every scene when it starts is going to be a little different, right? With the alt scene when it started, it was just bar shows, people getting up anywhere they
Yeah.
possibly
That's
could.
the thing about the new generation too. Like they're already doing that shit regardless. That's
Yeah.
like second nature to them. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
the kids growing up now are like so far advanced like than any of us at social media than we can even imagine. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. For me, it's
Dude,
kind of
my like younger cousins have like triple my Instagram followers.
Dude, it's like
Yeah,
that's.
because they know what to do.
It's not even like they know what to do. Like that's their new. I want to say that's like their new identity.
Yeah.
Like it's like for us, it's like even people our generation, it's like we still like have to think. Okay, so I might post like especially like if you're trying to push something on social media, it's like all right, I
Yeah.
gotta tweet today, gotta do some shit, gotta stay present, put some Facebook up.
Yep.
But it's like for them, that's like no, this is me.
Everyday
like it's
shit.
like they're not even thinking about it as like oh I gotta do this shit. Like no,
Yeah.
this is me. That would be like me not putting pants on today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just like that. It's just crazy the way people think differently now, and that's the only thing that I would say is what's scary. But I think I'm not worried about it.
Yeah,
Don't worry
no,
about it
we don't
too
have
much
to
right
worry
now.
about it. It's not really our thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
You
Yeah.
got it, but you got to use that tool. It's a tool there. It's like social media being like the comics who didn't get famous off of social media are already famous. Meaning the ones who made it without social media are like probably the last of their kind. Everybody else is going to have to use it to a degree.
Yeah.
They don't have to make it their thing, but they gotta use it to engage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like figuring it out. And that's why I'm like you said, I think I may like link up with like a high school student and be like, yo, $100 to fucking take care of this social media.
That's a good ass idea.
Yeah.
Do that shit now.
Social $100 a week. Boom.
Might
It'll be
start a
worth
program
it.
at Towson High School.
Yeah, just be like, yo, here you go.
Fucking pipeline.
Figure it out.
School to LFTS pipeline, dude. That's not what fucking manufacturing.
But they gotta have a good amount of followers themselves.
yeah, I'm not hitting up some
True.
bullshit high school student.
Yeah, who just wants to make $100.
I'm hitting up a dude that I would have thought was cool when I was in high school.
Exactly.
Like, yeah,
You'd
dude,
be
you're
like,
definitely the cool guy in your
You're
class. huh?
handling my shit. You teach me what the fuck I gotta do.
What's cool?
Yeah.
What do I got to start wearing?
What are the kids liking these days? I don't fucking know. Damn, dude. Fuck. That's great, man. We didn't really touch on like. I mean,
Well, what
it's
you want to
good.
talk about? Rapid fire shit. I don't
No,
want.
that's all good. I mean, like
Oh.
for me, because I know like you've incorporated a lot of stuff about like you grew up like as a foster child and things like
Yes.
that, and I know you incorporate that like a lot of that in your stand up. For me, I think the conversation we had was like I want to know where you're at now, and
Yeah.
I think that that's what's interesting to me.
Well,
honestly.
this is where I'm at now. All right, so growing up, I did grow up in foster care. I bounced around a lot, but now I'm in this portion of my life. I don't want to say career. I'm in a portion of my life where now I have a girlfriend that I live with that I want to marry one day, and I gotta start thinking thoughts of how we gonna create a family. I already have, even though I didn't have the family I wanted, I still got nieces and nephews. How to guarantee that they don't get the same experiences that I went through.
Yeah.
So now I'm at this point of where I can't use my past for anger, but more as a way to go, as a way to like make shit better for like the people around me. And I'm at that point in my life where like I brought my nephew up last weekend. I had to send that nigga back home. He's fucking terrible kid. He's a terrible kid. But because I was like, when I was his age, I was in foster care and I was just fucking miserable and I didn't get to hang out with anybody I thought was cool and nobody would take me in and stuff like that. And then I'm like, I got a nephew. I want to give him that experience of at least having a family member who he can go over their house and do fun shit, because I never got that when I was younger. You know what I mean?
That shit's crazy. Just the idea of like, so did you not live with your mom at any point in your life?
Never lived with my mom. Never lived with my mom. Me and my mom still had a relationship. Like I would see my mom on the weekends for like maybe like an hour or two.
But your primary residence was whatever
It's
foster
either
parent you were
whatever
in.
group home, whatever foster home.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's why I was never like family driven. And that's what foster care did for me. It made me like family, schmamily type guy. But then I got older, I was like, your family isn't necessarily blood, but it's the people you surround yourself with. And I started thinking like that. And then I was like, well, I got family members who I'm like ignoring and they did absolutely nothing wrong. And that was like, basically talking about my niece and nephews, some of my cousins and shit like that. So now I'm on this whole like in life, I'm like, oh, how do I play my part? How do I not be a victim but be like a product of my shit?
That's admirable.
And then I incorporated in my stand-up by talking about goofy shit, like living with my girl and how we're dealing with that shit, how that's like, I talk about it from maybe like a new point of view. To me, it's kind of new just because that shit, like, I didn't even see that shit growing up. So all this is new. I never seen a man treat a woman with any type of decency when I was younger. So now it's like, I am in the house and I have to do that shit. And how weird it is for me to be like, no, you don't gotta cook. Like my girl, like, you want me to make something? No, you don't have to make me anything. It totally is your choice. Your position is not in the kitchen.
That's wild.
I'll make you something.
I'll say that shit. I'll make you something. You sit down. Just sit down and shut up. Not shut up in a bad way, but shut up.
Well, shit. What's your Twitter?
Twitter, Monroe Martin the Third. Monroe Martin I. That's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm going to tweet more, I promise. I'm going to say some shit, I guess. I don't know.
And you throw your dates up on there? You
I
got
throw
a
my
website?
dates up on there, but I know people want like my girlfriend said that before. She was like, you're hilarious, but you don't say nothing on like your Twitter and stuff. I go, because every joke that I decide to write on Twitter, I go, oh, I want to try this on stage.
Yeah.
I get no gratification from tweeting anything.
That's true.
I get zero. Like the moment
But
I
you
tweet
are verified.
yeah, but that don't mean shit to me.
You got that blue check, dude. Everything you say matters all of a sudden.
Not me, though. Like, on stage, it's like, oh, I get the instant gratification, and if it's not funny, I get to fucking try to make it funny on the spot. But when you tweet it, it's out there for everybody to misinterpret and judge, so I kind of stay away from that shit.
Dude, real talk, first of all, I think it's cool because, like, I'm not going to lie, like, so I messaged you before I necessarily knew exactly who you were.
Oh,
that's
cool.
real. So like I always try to, we always try to get the headliners from because we've had a lot of come through.
Yeah.
And like I saw you were coming through, and then after you actually messaged me back, I was like, oh shit, hell yeah, like blah blah. And I started looking at you. I was like, oh wait, I've definitely seen this guy before and stuff like that, dude. First of all, I think it's dope. It says a lot about someone when like just the fact that you even messaged me back or anything like that, like. I wouldn't have come across you any other way other than this. That's just like, but it's just like, it's like, I'm glad I did.
Dude, I'm glad I did too. I'm having fun. I got to learn that y'all are better than me because y'all could build shit. Fucking built that whole room.
That dude.
Nah, man, I'm always that guy. I'm that guy. Like I pick up on vibes. But I can like, cause I seen the message, but then I was like looking at your stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
I didn't respond immediately,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I definitely
I was worried for a
like
second.
looking like, oh, okay, sure, why not? It's not gonna hurt. Fuck it.
Yeah, I never fucking know because like earlier in the week, like we didn't have anybody booked, and I hit up Eric. I was like, yeah, I'm working on Monroe Martin, and by that I meant like I sent him a message. He hasn't sent any shit back yet.
No, you just gotta
I'm
be
working on
careful.
it.
Like now, just because the shit that's going on in the world, like I just didn't want to be on the podcast and they be like,
Show some tiki torches out front.
yeah,
Yeah.
defend yourself. And I'm like, what?
I haven't been bitten once this whole time.
Yeah, right. What the fuck?
Some crazy shit.
That is funny. They marched and none of them got bit by mosquitoes.
Damn, not itching.
Dude.
Oh man. So is there anything like you got like a Facebook presence? Like anything you
Well,
wanna
I'm
plug?
trying. Yeah.
So yeah, Monroe Martin
Just
the third.
Monroe Martin the third.
That's three eyes.
Instagram, Twitter. Go if you got Snapchat, girl code Snapchat, MTV. I'll be saying goofy shit on that. MTV got another show coming out. Comedy KO. I did that stuff. Just
Yeah.
I'll be on stuff.
These are all things
Watch
I had.
my old shit.
All things I had in my notes.
Tweet
but I
at
was
me.
like-
I'll talk back if you tweet at me. If somebody tweets at me, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
If we found out anything today, he does message back.
He
so-
I do message back.
Back, hit him up.
Yeah, I'm not an.
You
I'm
got a
not gonna
garage?
ignore-
Invite him.
I'm fucking. I respond to negative shit too. I had
Like, yo,
somebody
Monroe,
tell
you
me
fucking
like,
bitch.
"Stop saying, dude." I had people go, I fucking hate you." Why? Like, come on, let's hang out.
Fucking hate God code, man.
You want to chill? I'm like that person. Like, come on. And then I'll start making it, but I'll try to incorporate it because I feel like when people do shit like that, they're usually looking for a response, and it's still
And
open
dude, if you
for
flip
you
that
to make a
guy-
friend. Yeah.
If you flip that guy, he's a fan for life.
Fan for
Dude,
life.
I had a guy who was like, I forgot I had a joke about like how I don't like baby showers or like holding like newborns and shit like that. Some guy like tweeted me like, "Are you fucking piece of shit? What do you mean you don't like babies?" And this, so I just ran with it. I was like,
I'm
yeah.
a baby.
I go, yeah, I fucking hate babies. Like I got a club too.
My grandmother was
yeah.
a baby. Like,
Right.
yo, everybody was a fucking baby. Like, we're all entitled to talk
I
shit
know.
about babies.
But we would just say shit. And I'm like, yo, like, you want to get Letterman jackets? You want to hate babies with me? And just fucking started sending him like videos of like babies being punched in the face. And he started laughing. It was just like, he'll like
hilarious.
retweet it. Go, hey, yeah, I don't
That's
give a
great.
fuck. It's not real.
It's not real.
It's not real. Your hatred is phony.
That's great, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. Eric, what you got, man?
What you got, man?
Baltimore Comedy Festival, August 31st to
Boom,
September
boom.
4th. Check that shit out. Tickets are on sale now for the Autobar show, for the Union Brewery, Motor House, all that shit.
Support all the shows.
Yeah, support all the fucking
gonna be good.
comedy around.
Do you got a
everywhere.
package deal? Do you got a deal where if somebody buys like
like a pass or
a
something?
pass they can get?
Yeah.
That would have been. Is that a thing?
I believe so.
Oh,
I believe
okay,
it's gonna be
good.
a thing.
Ivan,
People
he's
take
on it.
advantage of that.
Mhm.
Take advantage of
That
that.
is
Advantage of
smart.
that shit.
That is savvy.
And you know, if you're around, check out Monroe Martin. See if he's coming through your town.
Yeah, when you're putting this out?
I will have this out hopefully on Sunday or
Okay.
Monday. Sunday, Monday, sometime around.
All
there.
right, so I left already,
Yeah.
and you fucking missed it.
You guys fucked up this
Yes,
weekend,
fucked
but
up.
But
hey,
next weekend I'm at when this comes out, I'm at McGuire's Comedy Club in New York. Because you can't assume that it's just people in Maryland.
I
Yeah.
hope not.
All
That would
right,
be ass
yeah.
for this podcast.
So
yeah.
I'm in New York at McGuire's Comedy Club next weekend.
Hell
Come
yeah.
through that bitch.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I would. Do you still do stuff at the stand ever? You still
Yeah,
do
they're
them?
my manager, so
Next-
I always have to
Oh,
do
fuck
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, our boy Scott lives up there. Next time we're up in New York, I might hit you up, see if you're
Fucking
performing
come
that night.
up. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
always
man.
performing. I just did my own show there. Did like a one-man show type thing where I just had my friend who's a rapper open up the show. He brought me up, and I just went out there and just started.
Hell yeah.
I didn't go, hey, yeah. I just went up there and just like, let's talk about some shit. And I talked about relationships for like an hour and 15 minutes.
That's dope.
It was fun.
dude.
What was the show called?
It was called Life at the Stand.
Life in the Stand. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all, shout out to Laughable.
Oh yeah,
swear.
Laughable's cool. Those are, you get to Google people. It's like Google for
Yeah,
podcasts.
exactly.
That was a
dope.
great way of putting it, dude. Thank
Yeah,
God
but
I didn't have to say it.
Yeah, but it was a very much needed concept.
That's perfect.
I'm glad
Dude,
that person created it.
fantastic concept.
Yeah.
Laughable. He said it best, man. Take it from him. I think it's on Droid now. I
Yep.
haven't checked, but I hope it is.
Get all your podcasts.
Now
in
everybody's
one
forcing
place.
the show. My plugs, guys. It's my plugs time. Everybody came in at Jimmy Selesky on Twitter. I'm playing The Horse You Came In on tomorrow, 5:30 to 9 happy hour.
Tomorrow though, this is out on Sunday. Dude.
Oh yeah. You fucked up. You missed it then.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, you fucked up.
You missed it then. All right, never mind. All that build up for nothing. You
At
guys.
LFTS podcast
damn it.
across the board. See you guys next week.
Boom.
Sweet. Peace.
Peace.
You don't like some John Mayer shit?